Welcome back to Chasing the Target. Perfect day one from England's point of view. I mean, 393 but declare kar diye with 2 wickets remaining. England won the toss, decided to bat first. According to the conditions, I think was a perfect plan. Sunny conditions थे, not much movement in the pitch. Ben Stokes did mention before in his interviews that bhai, flat wicket rakna hai. We want to keep a flatter wicket. We want to get more runs off the bat rather than getting swinging condition, making life difficult for our own batsmen. So that was one tactic that worked. Uh, Zabardast, Joe Root 100, masterclass from Joe Root 118. One of the quicker hundreds in his career of 152. Strike rate also, 77. I think from Joe Root's point of view, that would have been sensational, quick for him as well. From what we're used to seeing him 200 ball, ऐसा सा slow खेल लेते रहता. But जो ball था of the innings, I think the first ball of the match, अगर आप लोग नहीं देखे, please go back and see it. It was Pat Cummins steaming in. Lot of questions if England is going to continue with the baseball momentum. Will they continue with their baseball technique and sort of get scared, maybe change their approach in test cricket? नहीं मानने जाएंगे, ये करेंगे. ऑस्ट्रेलिया लोग very good side, test champions हैं. काफी साल, लेकिन जैक क्रॉली का जो cover drive on the first ball, oh my god, that was beautiful shot. I think that just sent the tone for the entire match or entire series rather. The first shot जो लगा था, I don't know, अंशुल भाई, चिराग भाई, thank you for joining, and everybody who else is getting your questions. But that first shot, Zach really basically एक statement था कि भाई हम लोग नहीं बदलने वाले. This is our way of playing and we're going to enjoy it. 393 at the end of the day, man. Imagine 393 in one day of cricket. We've seen 474 in Karachi, but 393 where India was struggling to even get above 300, right? In one day, they managed to get 393 runs. Zach Crawley with a sensational 61 got out to Scott Boland just before lunch. Ben Duckett again square area uska काफी strong point हो गया था in the recent times. He was able to cut the ball even in the match against Ireland. He was very good, but he got the snick and yeah, he went back. Ollie Pope, LBW Lion, rough tha thoda bahut. There was a little bit of thing for Lion. His ball were getting to skid in. But Joe Root, man, अगर आप टेस्ट क्रिकेट एंजॉय करते and some of his shots were brilliant. Reverse sweeps consistently मारा, एक reverse scoop 4 मारा उन्हें. He's hit 4 sixes. That is something that you wouldn't expect. 7 boundaries and 4 sixes from Joe Root. Yes, Joe Root की बात चल रही है. 30th international test century and I think 4th against Australia if मेरी याददाश्त कमजोर नहीं है. But the moment of the day, like Chirag bhai mentioned, let's go quickly into it, was Harry Brook कि क्या बात करें. बेचारे की किस्मत आई थिंक आईपीएल में आने के बाद से बहुत खराब हो गई. He was looking in fine form. I mean, he was smashing it left, right. 32 of 37, 4 boundaries. मतलब उन्हें तो खाली मारने को आया था. And you could see his ability in the test cricket domain. आप देखो भाई, clean shots थे, जबरदस्त shots थे, but Lion के bowling पे he nicked one and it didn't touch his bat. It just went off his I think it went off his pad. हवा में गया, उन्हें ऊपर नहीं देखा, उन्हें नीचे नहीं देखा, खाली बैट ऊपर छोड़ दिया हवा में. जस्ट that he's not interrupting with the wicket keeper or the silly point किसी के भी जगह में. But unfortunately उसके लिए ball came back down and it went hit the back of Harry Brook. बैक को लग के सीधा स्टम्प्स को लगा. एंड yeah, one of the most funniest wickets I've seen. He didn't attempt to even look after the ball, do something with his bat. कुछ करने नहीं क्या, कुछ प्रोटेक्शन नहीं करा विकेट को, and it just rolled back behind him and जाके स्टम्प्स को लग गया. It was a very funny wicket, unexpected, because I think the way Harry Brook was going, he was definitely going to get a 50. अच्छा मार रहा था, he could have even gone to 100. आप याद रखो कि हैरी ब्रुक का जो टेस्ट अभी एवरेज 81 है, बट कम गेम्स है, बट जितने भी टेस्ट खेले हैं, he has a series खेले हैं, rather he has made a century. Like Pakistan, and I think he played in New Zealand, he made a century there as well. So I think Harry Brook, bichara, I feel bad for him. He could have gone also on to hit a century, but at least a half century the way he was going. Stokes का ये decision backfire ना कर जाए. Yeah, बिल्कुल अंशुल भाई, I agree with you, given the fact कि भाई 393 है एंड फ्लैट विकेट ही है, ज्यादा मूवमेंट नहीं दिखा. जो भी 10 या 8 ओवर ऑस्ट्रेलिया भी खेली है, तब मेरे को पिच में ज्यादा जान नहीं दिखी. इट डिडंट लुक लाइक कंडीशंस भी कुछ चेंज होने वाले हैं कल. हालांकि ऑस्ट्रेलिया सिर्फ 4 ओवर खेली है या, बट कुछ ज्यादा. एंड जिमी एंडरसन को भी न्यू बॉल नहीं दिया, थोड़ा बहुत शॉकिंग था वो. 2009 से आई थिंक इट वाज नासिर हुसैन वाज सेइंग 2009 से जिमी एंडरसन को न्यू बॉल नहीं दिया, व्हिच इज अ वेरी डिफरेंट. बट आई थिंक 4 ओवर के लिए क्या ज़्यादा सोचना, and I don't know what it is, but yes, definitely a very surprising declaration for me as well. But that's how Ben Stokes is. Ben Stokes की काबिलियत ये है कि ऐसे decisions वो लेता है. We know what he's done past में क्या कर चुका है, and he is very keen when it comes to getting results. Playing cricket, you know putting everything on the line. रिस्क हाई है लेकिन रिवॉर्ड अगर मिले तो वाहवाही भी उतनी ज्यादा होगी. सो आई थिंक उसका डिसीजन यही था कि भाई 2 विकेट बाकी हैं, जो रूट को 100 मिल गया है, सब खुश हैं अभी मेरे कैंप में, ज्यादा और जाने की जरूरत नहीं है. अभी कल रॉबिन्सन भी मान नहीं जा रहा था. आई थिंक कहीं ना कहीं ऑली रॉबिन्सन भी आउट होने वाला था. एंड देन जिमी एंडरसन, ऑब्वियसली वी नो थोड़ी बहुत वो ही कैन डिफेंड, बट आई डोंट नो अबाउट अटैकिंग फुल थ्रॉटल. एंड जो रूट, आई डोंट थिंक उन्हें अब जिस तरीके से का प्लेयर है, आई डोंट थिंक ही वुड रियली माइंड 150. ही वुड नॉट थिंक अबाउट इट, बट जस्ट 2 विकेट्स. एंड आई थिंक सबसे बड़ी बात ये भी हो गई कि 6 ओवर डॉक हो गया, 6 ओवर कट गए बिकॉज ऑफ स्लो ओवर एट के वजह से. आई थिंक they've lost 6 overs today. One, they would have had 10 overs to give Australia, which would have probably then made things interesting if Australia lost a wicket. So Australia, if they lost a wicket today, then probably हम लोग इतना सवाल नहीं उठाते थे. And अगर थोड़े और overs होते तो maybe we would see Jimmy Anderson bowl as well. But from where I'm looking at it, I think 393 in a day's work is incredible batting. But yes, I understand traditional cricket को अगर अपन देख रहे कि 5 day टेस्ट है, आप अगर कल फर्स्ट सेशन के 10-15 ओवर में भी आउट हो जाते, ऑली रॉबिन्सन और जिमी एंडरसन को खेले, आप 400 450 तक पहुंच सकते थे. मे बी मेक इट अ बिट लाइफ मोर इजियर फॉर योर bowlers, बट दैट्स नॉट हाउ बेन स्टोक्स इज. बेन स्टोक्स दिमाग एक बार जो मैंने कमिटमेंट कर दिया टाइप सिचुएशन है भाई का, एक बार उन्होंने कमिट कर दिए. एंड ही सेड प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस में बोला, यू कैन होल्ड मी रिस्पांसिबल इफ आई चेंज माय टेक्निक. एंड या आई थिंक ही इज जस्ट प्रूविंग दैट राइट नाउ. What a surprising declaration. Surprised to see Broad and Robinson open the bowling. Yeah, 100%. Even I was surprised. But then again, I think just because there were 4 overs, maybe Jimmy Anderson didn't want to get his hands dirty, or maybe Ben Stokes just thought he would want to see how the pitch is working for Broad and Robinson particularly. So maybe that could be one of the reasons, trying to get an early movement away. I know Jimmy Anderson is well capable of doing it, but just wanted to probably go with the Broad and Robinson rather than the Jimmy Anderson. The first time since 2008 that yeah, that's what Nasir Hussain was saying. 2008 or 2009, I think. He was saying that in England he has not opened the bowling with the new ball. England bowling looks weak, but you never know. Stewart and Anderson can go on a hunting spree, and yeah, 100%. I think this is a very valid point. Their bowling does look a bit weak because देखो नितिन लायन मेजोरिटी 4 विकेट्स लिया, एक तो उसको फ्री में मिल गया. बट ऑस्ट्रेलिया के भी आप फास्ट बॉलर्स को देखो, पैट कमिंस काफी like he didn't get a lot of purchase from the wicket. So did like Hazelwood bowl well. उसका बेचारे का एक कैच भी ड्रॉप हुआ, I think कैरी ने ड्रॉप करा था बेयरस्टो को. But apart from that, like the fast bowlers in particular, अगर आप देखो उतना ज्यादा, हाँ एक आध और बॉल मूव हो रहा था and stuff like that, but it wasn't like the movement you particularly see in England. So it is more flatter, it is more dry surface, sun was beating down, तो और ड्राई होगा, which makes probably if Moeen Ali can bowl something like a wicket to wicket or just keep his line consistent, maybe you could see Moeen Ali pick up a few wickets. Maybe you might see Joe Root bowl. I don't see him bowl particularly, but maybe the way the things are going. बट या कल का देखना पड़ेगा, अगर कंडीशंस चेंज होते हैं थोड़े बहुत. संडे को तो बारिश होने के चांसेस है बोल रहे हैं, बट आई डोंट नो. कल अगेन इट माइट जस्ट लुक लाइक अ वेरी थिंग. अ फर्स्ट आवर ऑलवेज इज डिफरेंट, फर्स्ट सेशन हमेशा अलग होता है इंग्लैंड में. सो वील हैव टू वेट एंड सी देयर. And like you said, if they go on a hunting spree, then yeah, then it changes things. But the ball becomes older. Will it move that much? That is a question that And then if Khwaja and Warner, if you look at Warner's intent, Warner was looking to counter attack, right? Warner was looking at getting a lot of runs. And I know थोड़ा बहुत chemistry issue दिख रहा था ना, कि दोनों बचपन से, I think Usman Khwaja and David Warner, since the age of 14 they've been opening, but today they didn't look comfortable to get even the first run. पहला जो रन आया था नो बॉल था, फिर डेविड वार्नर कवर के तरफ मारा, भागने की कोशिश करा, देन ही सेंड बैक उस्मान ख्वाजा, एंड उस्मान ख्वाजा मेड मिस्टेक, बट देन फाइनली दे मैनेज्ड टू गेट अ कपल ऑफ बाउंड्रीज. He managed to get a couple of boundaries. He looks like he wants to hit runs. He looks like he wants to be aggressive. He saw what this particular pitch is like. It is a little flattened. It's not the best for a bowling thing, but again, then we'll have to wait till if maybe some spin comes through. But yeah, it's a very good from whatever was left. I think Ben Stokes का I think I agree with that decision to an extent. Yeah, again अगर अपन बोल रहे कंजर्वेटिव मैनर में देखना चाह रहे, यू कुड से कि हाँ भाई गलत कर दिया, 450 तक तो रुक जाते यार. but that's how we think, because apne team aisi hai. But the way English think, it's going to be different based on their side, right? How come England have such a huge depth of talent in all formats, especially in batting? 100%, and that's what you see. The best thing about England is that their depth, right? And the same thing that you see with Australia also, they have a fair bit of that on your tail. Utta un log ka, it's not been the best in recent time, but they still can bat till I think 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Pat Cummins and Mitchell Stark, if they're whoever is playing, they can also bat. So 8 तक batting है उन लोगों के पास. But England in particular, Bairstow, Moeen Ali, Stuart Broad, Ollie Robinson, all of these guys can bat. And over, that's how you do it. You give them responsibility. And it's the process that baseball has invented. And everybody is coming out and swinging the bat, getting runs. Some are playing proper cricketing shots, like Ollie Robinson guided down one to third man. Acha late cut mara tha. That was a very good shot of, I think it was Josh Hazelwood. So you see a lot of talent with them, and they're given responsibility. The captains, ट्रस्ट फैक्टर, लंबी रस्सी जो देते नीतीश भाई, ये होता है लंबी रस्सी. आप जैक क्रॉली के अगर आप स्टैट उठा के देख लो, ही इज नॉट बीन द बेस्ट इन फॉर्म. बट जो लंबी रस्सी की अपन इंडिया में बात करते, इंग्लैंड में एक्चुअली दे गिव इट more respect. They give it more respect, because you see Zach Crawley, you see Ben Duckett, these guys, Ollie Pope, इन लोगों को अच्छा खासा टाइम मिला. Now the question here is that they have that those many players to segregate in different formats? Yes, even India does, but India doesn't. But all of the players in an English side, they get a taste of different conditions. Even if you're playing county, even if you're playing like for BBL, they're allowed to move around the world and they know how it works. But again, अपने पास एक situation में अटका के रख देते जिंदगी भर रांझी में, and then so there are a lot of questions and answers, like questions to that we can probably tackle in from India's perspective, but England in general, because they've got immense talent and they just keep getting new batches of players, and they segregated correctly कि ये T20 में जाएगा, ये अगर आप 3 खेलना चाहे तो वो भी खेल सकते, बट आप they don't take more than they can consume. उतना जितना आता उतना ही खेलेंगे, उससे ज्यादा नहीं. तो दैट्स ऑल्सो वन थिंग. आप जो रूट को भी देख लो, टेस्ट में है, ओडीआई बट लाइक T20 में उतना ज्यादा नहीं है. जॉस बटलर, everybody has their own thing, and there's no ego, anything like that as well. No English batsman, 1 century and stats. Everyone wants to score quick 40-60 and throw away the wicket. This might backfire, but then he is Ben Stokes. See, the thing about this is when no English batsman wants a century, it makes things more easier, right? When you're as a bowler, you want the batsman to be in your defensive approach. Now, when the batsman is in a counter-attacking mode, yeah, it can always go 40-60, 50-50, 30-70, depending upon the condition. But like if you look at the second innings of Steve Smith in against India and WTC, Australia were in a shell. India put Australia in a shell. They got a lot of quick wickets, Labuschagne and Smith. But Smith came out roaring. He didn't come out defensively. He said, "Ke boss, ya manne wale hain." So when you are going in a certain zone and then ek tirwadi ya ek soldier आके shooting कर देता open fire, you sort of are taken aback as a bowler. तो मेरे हिसाब से that's what England is. England have 11 soldiers on the line ready to give everything for their captain, and they know what's at stake. They know that the Ashes is at stake. They know that the series is at stake. They don't fear losing. When you don't fear losing, you become more क्या बोलते scary. You become more अरे भाई, he has nothing to lose. When you don't have anything to lose and you play like that, you have all the freedom in your mind, and your every shot will connect somehow. Everything will get middle. Like Joe Root, he didn't have a hunger to get 100, but he somehow got it. He kept middling it. He kept, because he was not he उसका कैप्टन, उसका कोच दोनों बोल दिए कि बॉस जो करता कर, जो सा खेलता खेल, बट तेरे को फ्रीडम है, तू जो भी करता कर. तू आउट हुआ तो हम ये नहीं बोलेंगे कि तेरे वजह से हारे. Right, so when you have a courageous captain and an overly courageous coach, that automatically translate in this kind of freedom. And when you have a freedom, you don't take a lot of thought process in your think. अब जैसे अपने पास क्या है, पब्लिक है, अपने पास फिर सोचते कि अरे बस मैं नहीं परफॉर्म करा तो मेरी एज हो जा रही है, अरे मेरी पद चले जाएगी, अरे मेरा ये है, मेरे पीछे ये बंदा है, वैसा है, ये सा है. So there are a lot of factors. So I think that's also one reason. When you have the freedom and you play for without a reason to, like, without the worry of loss, it just makes things, you enjoy cricket. You enjoy, like it's basically saying, अगर आप में जितने भी हमारे चैट या लोग देख रहे हैं अपने को, if we all make a team and we go play cricket, we'll enjoy it, because we're not in a tournament mode. We're just saying, bhai, enjoy करेंगे. This is how England plays cricket internationally on a larger scale. So that's what it is. Yeah, this is better than T20. I think Mustafa asked me, like, are you enjoying the most brilliant test match you've seen? I mean, it's amazing. I love it. It's fun. वही एसेंस जो है ना टेस्ट क्रिकेट का वो, बट अगेन विथ मॉडर्न टाइम्स यू हैव टू रोल लाइक दैट. Ideally, like the more I think about it, 90 overs in a day, you should, if in a 50-over match you're able to hit 400, then a 90-over match, that's what England is saying. It's just like two one day, it's almost like two innings of ODI. You get to bat that much. So I think that's how England are taking it. You know, दोनों innings of an ODI अगर आप खेल रहे एक दिन में, तो आप और भी मार सकते, like 85-80 overs अगर आपको मिल रहे हैं, आप उसमें जितना मार सकते मारो, because second day तक ड्रैग करने का कोई point नहीं है. And then technically अगर आप everyone plays like both the sides play like that, and automatically 4 days are anyway going to go away. But it's obviously like conditions, wicket, bowling, batting, कैसा होता सब है. But yeah, it's amazing to watch. It's bold moves, moves from Ben Stokes and his players, and it's just revolutionizing cricket altogether. Test cricket in like मैं तो कभी इमेजिन नहीं करा ऐसे चीज देखें, बट इट्स आल्सो फन बिकॉज़ टुक टुक नहीं, ड्रामा है, कॉट बिहाइंड्स है, यू नो फोर्स है, कवर ड्राइव्स है, सिक्सेस है. तो yeah, it's a lot thing. On hindsight, if they were ever to get an all out under, and that's happened in the past, right, Punter? Like you see a few series ago, England did get that right. England did get criticized for their way of playing because they lost back to back. But again, it's just England are a team where they don't look at the outside world. They just start like 15 members to 20 member ka squad, and they just depend on each other. They respect their personal conversations that they have in the dugout, and it doesn't get leaked, it doesn't get thrown out. And they said this is a process. Till a process is documented and people don't understand it, people will always criticize. Once it's documented, understood, and it fetches you results, then people will start respecting. So you need like a player like Ben Stokes. Like again, I'll go back to Amazon. I know he didn't have a process of baseball and stuff, but he had a way of handling the management. So once you get results from those processes, then the management, the public, everyone will start idealizing you. Everyone will start understanding your approach. सबला बोलेंगे हाँ भाई इन्हें हमारे को ये पीढ़ी से निकालेंगे. जो जनरेशनल वो एक बच्चा आता खानदान में जो पूरे को फकीरी स्टेट से उठा के अमीरी में ला लेता, दोस्त उन लोगों की ज्यादा सुनते बिकॉज उन लोगों का वे ऑफ प्ले अलग था, उन लोगों का टेक्निक अलग था, उन लोगों की सोच अलग थी, जो इमीडिएटली समझ में नहीं आए, बट जब रिजल्ट्स आए, जब पैसा आए घर में, जब लोग समझे. समथिंग लाइक दैट. This is the way to play aggressive cricket, but again it depends on your squad also, right? On like it's aggressive cricket hai, but I would not expect like India to play like this, because see, it's how you're trained. Bear Stowe is a proper T20 player. Like, Ben Stokes can play T20 properly. Harry Brook is a 20. Look, I mean, again, it's the characters that you have in the dugouts. The only one from India I can actually expect is Rishabh Pant and probably Rohit Sharma to an extent. Virat Kohli can, like, obviously he can play any form, but apart from, like, I won't expect everyone to be this consistent in this aggressive way of playing cricket when you compare it to these English people. So I don't know. I just way I'm looking at it. Punter, once in a while this that will happen, but if you can win it, exactly, एक आध बार तो होगा भाई कि 36 all out, 62 all out, but they're not scared of losing. Then that's the thing. If they're not scared of losing, then it's not going to be a very big problem for the team, the coach, everyone. जब आपको back करे, so it's just gonna be कि हाँ भाई, we have our team in the back, and that's about it. Like, we don't need to worry about anything. We don't care what the people say. We don't. The process हमारे को मालूम, हमारे को results आए हैं past में, and that's how it's gonna be. Future. Now, from Australia's point of view, how do they counter attack this? Ideally, I think you can go two ways about it. Obviously, conservative, you play the way you are, don't change. Would you change just because someone is like playing differently or something, or do you counter attack? Do you say, "Bhai, if you're gonna play like this, we're gonna come down to your level and play like this"? And Australia do have the batsmen. They have David Warner who can go like this and score on 100 quick one. You have Travis Head, you have Cameron Green, and Alex Carey. I think these four people can do it. But again, the Steve Smith, the Labuschagne, and all of this, they're more traditional kind of players. So it'll be interesting. Agar ball swing ye nahi hua, so you might even see Australia play a little bit pacier than what they're used to. But I don't think they'll completely change their guard just because an England team is going ke bhai pagal ho ja rahi, crazy ho ja rahi, and stuff like that. But yeah, they have all the ability to come out tomorrow, score probably 280, 290, aram se, like more runs, like they'll take them to 300 and 300 something. But again, we'll have to see what their tactics are. I'm pretty sure it'll be a little bit different from England. Nitish Bhai also said, I think Jimmy Anderson and Broad, Jimmy Anderson Broad ke bowling ke upar hai. It depends upon them also. How are they going to get swing? Are they going to be able, या pitch ज़्यादा ही flat हो गई, वो भी देखना पड़ेगा. I think only one of Broad and Anderson can play too old and past prime. They will miss Archer this Ashes. England bowling doesn't look. Uh, See, Stuart Broad is still one of the best bowlers in England. Like Ireland, mein, he took 5 wickets, if I'm not wrong, in the last test, which was about a month ago. Before that, अगर आप England की कौन सी series थी जहाँ पे Broad जबरदस्त डाला था, I'm forgetting, but yeah, Jimmy Anderson again. He plays one format. I know he's 40 years old. I mean, I don't know कितना उसमें gas बाकी है, but from what we can perceive at least, he's still got a good shoulder on him, and he's still got a good pace on him. He's still bowling 130, 140. So I think that enough would prove to me that they can take on. Yeah, it's the body, it's how you think. आज interesting चीज like चील बोल रहे थे, I think it was Nasir Hussain and Kevin Peterson, that you've got to be fit, but you've got to be bowling fit. So when you're in the regular flow of bowling and stuff, you still feel better. I think it was on Glenn McGrath के ऊपर बोल रहे थे कि Glenn McGrath को Ricky Ponting कहीं देखा, and he's saying कि Glenn McGrath still is lean and still can bowl like at least 10 overs, because you keep yourself in the rhythm of things. Once अपन थोड़ा ब्रेक ले लेते हैं, अगर आप देखो क्रिकेट बहुत टाइम के बाद खेलो, पहली चीज अपनी शोल्डर पकड़, बट these guys are professional, these guys, and again I completely agree with you, like injuries aren't that far-fetched from these guys, not at all. Like even Stuart Broad and Anderson, Anderson is like 40, and I think Broad is somewhere like they're like 36 or something, but he still played, like he's played for Lancashire. He's done decently well for Lancashire. He's played, so Abhi he's been there in England and New Zealand जब खेली थी, जब वहाँ दोनों Stuart Broad and Jimmy Anderson ही थे जो डाले थे. So this is 2023. I'm talking about 2023. So for me, I think still Broad and Anderson will be able to do it. But yeah, maybe this could be the last time you see them in the Ashes. That could be a very big possibility. I think it's time to move on to this style. We have enough talent to give the style of cricket a shot. I want him to play like, yeah, but the thing is like India may Don, the first thing I'll probably be the one to criticize it, because like once we don't get results based on ICC kind of formats, if we're not going to get results, so you expect us to move to a aggressive cricket approach. ठीक है, I understand जमाने के साथ चलना है, but जमाने के साथ चलने वाले कौन है? अपने पब्लिक तो नहीं सुनती. अगर थोड़ा बहुत, yeah, I think yeah, आप बोल सकते कि can shush people down. Then again, I'll go back to your own point where you say कि मैनेजमेंट से प्लेयर्स से मैनेजमेंट, वो चीज़ पहले एस्टैब्लिश होना, फिर न्यू टैलेंट हंट जैसा आप करते वो एस्टैब्लिश होना, उन लोगों को खिलाना, उनको दूसरे कंट्रीज भेजना. So it's going to be hard for like Shubman Gill, and maybe Shubman Gill will probably in a few years time be able to understand once he starts playing county regularly कि यहाँ पे कैसा होता. But a little bit movement we've seen KL Rahul, a little bit movement we've seen a few other people. So it will have to start like बोलते ना pilot batch भेजना पड़ेगा England with something like that, and then you start it. But then criticism भी उतनी ही आना है, and then वो लेने की काबिलियत अपने technically अपनों में नहीं रहती. Like from what I've seen, like we get angry, we start posting stuff on Instagram, we start posting stuff like on Twitter, and stories देख ले सकते अपन and stuff like that. So that's the difference in an English mentality, probably in our mentality, that because we want to win. If we don't win, then we want to win everything. I mean, ideally everybody wants to win anything, but then can we give away the fear of losing? I don't know. And once we lose, then we have so many people ready to on the keyboards, ready to make money and make business out of it. So including us probably, but that's how it is, I think. And if they have a leader, like maybe someone who can, like a Rishabh Pant, I think would be perfect in that aspect. I can imagine Rishabh Pant will not care one bit, because he would still play. He still plays the way he does, irrespective of what people have said about him and stuff. And he's proved a point to people that his style is a little bit out of the box, but it works. So maybe Rishabh Pant. But apart from that, and other people, their injuries, their stuff, the rotation of the squad, a lot of things are to be questioned, and then we need to get answered. But yeah, you need to start somewhere, but that depends when they will. So वो भी एक अपने में ही सवाल है वो. अपना कोच Dravid, उनका कोच Baz Cummins getting Langer fired because of his old thought process of playing. Should India think the same way? See, that's only applicable in a place where there is a क्या बोल सकते open environment, open door policy, right? You come in and you talk or like something like that. But in an India situation, it'll be different. Maybe you see Rohit get fired, or you'll see whoever. Like it, I guess it goes in a very correct manner. I don't know kaisa policy set hai, kya hai. And then the BCCI in himself is like such a big issue that I don't know. Dravid, I mean, देखो भाई, Dravid का भी thought process है, I think अच्छा ही छे, but maybe not the like a Baz mentality. Who will be a Baz mentality from Indian perspective? Yeah, maybe Ravi Shastri was the one, but then usko bhi hakali chi diya na. So I think even if anyone is trying to play aggressive cricket like we saw, maybe they're also going to get shot down somewhere down the line if they don't get results consistently. Like Dravid lost, I think, one, two, three, how many ever tournaments that he lost. He still now अभी इसको fire कर दे. So Dravid's seniority like what 8-9 months now. उससे अगर आप कंपेयर करो, एनीवन हु कम्स इन नाउ इफ ही लूजेस टू इन अ रो, हकाल देंगे उसको भी. सो वो पेशेंस लेवल नहीं है अपने में. We don't have that thing now. You see, when Dhoni was captain, was Gary Kirsten, and they really set things together. They were in sync, mentally in sync. That helps a lot. So I think you need to find जो भी कैप्टन है उसके हिसाब का एक कोच, या तो कोच के हिसाब से कैप्टन, something like that. And here I think Dravid is मोर ट्रेडिशनल. रोहित शर्मा मोर लाइट लेके खेलता, हाँ भाई कर लेंगे, स्टफ लाइक दैट. सो वो भी एक इक्वेशन नहीं बैठ रहा. बट ओवरऑल आई थिंक इट्स अ लॉन्ग वे डाउन द लाइन. आई थिंक अभी जब तक पूरे पुराने लोग नहीं निकले, आई थिंक वो भी नहीं इम्प्लीमेंट कर सकते. वो सीनियरिटी और वो कॉम्प्लेक्स आ जाएगा बीच में. बहुत चीज़ें हैं और अपने इंडिया में बहुत गिच्चियाँ रहते. बट या आई थिंक इंग्लैंड के लिए तो I told Mustafa yesterday 3-1 is what I'm saying. England might win the Ashes 3-1. Mustafa was saying 3-2 to Australia, I think, if I'm not wrong. He is more Australia, but I think the way England is right now and the way they're playing and their captain and their mentality and the way that they lost 4-0 in Australia, they would definitely come guns blazing. उनला निकल के मारने को आ रहे England. They are ready to smash it. Public is behind them. A lot of chants in the crowd while Bairstow, and Bairstow की बात करूँ, I think commendable. 78 of, I think 78. Yeah, he went almost run a ball. I think it's incredible to see after probably 1 year or something that he came back to cricket, international bowler, and he really smashed it. He didn't look like he was out of the game. He didn't look like he was out of touch. I'm pretty sure जितने भी Kings 11 पंजाब Kings के जितने भी fans हैं throughout India probably upset. अरे यार बेयर्स तो अपने लिए खेलना था भाई. उन्हें ऐसा लगा ही नहीं कि उन्हें टच के बाहर बाउंड्री पे बाउंड्री मारा. जबरदस्त रोटेशन ऑफ द स्ट्राइक, जबरदस्त स्पेस अभी भी है उसमें. आई थॉट कि भाई थोड़ा बहुत लिगामेंट फटने के बाद थोड़ा बहुत तो कुछ डर के रहेगा. बट आई थिंक अब जबरदस्त बैटिंग फ्रॉम जॉनी बेस्टो. मोइन भाई जिसको एकदम शॉकिंग एंट्री मिली थी इन द लास्ट एसएमएस के थ्रू, उनका WTC का एशेज में इन्वॉल्वमेंट हुआ, उन्होंने भी आके थोड़ा बहुत हाथ फिराए. बट या आई डोंट थिंक it made a lot of difference. फिर भी 18 रन मारे, not bad. 1 6 and 2 boundaries also is what he got. Apart from that, yeah, again हैरी ब्रुक का विकेट अगर आप लोग नहीं देखे, मैं फिर अर्ज करूंगा जाके देखे. I think it's the most funniest thing that you will see. Apart from Harry Brook's wicket, the first ball of the Ashes 2023, Pat Cummins to Zach Crawley. Go watch that again. Beautiful cover drive. Zach Crawley का भी innings अगर आप लोग नहीं देखे, go ahead and watch it because there were some sensational shots in that. And yeah, I think, but some moments of the day for me was Steve Smith and Pat Cummins का, I think DRS के ऊपर थोड़े बहुत नोक झोंक हो गए. Not नोक झोंक, but it was a funny thing that Steve Smith and Labuschagne usually अगर कुछ भी अगर आप देखो रन आउट का चांस या caught behind in general या रिव्यू लेने के टाइम पे they're always ready to take review. They know there are only 3 reviews, but they want to take a review on everything. And आज वही हुआ कि I think it was Joe Root या someone who was probably sneak करे थे बोल के सोचे थे, and Steve Smith said ऊपर चले जाओ. Pat Cummins बैठा बोला उसको भाई जरा रुक जाओ, तुम ऑलरेडी एक बार गिच्ची कर दिए, नको अभी लाइट. तो I think that was very funny कि Pat Cummins and Steve Smith का थोड़ा बहुत, it was funny to see that thing happen amongst themselves. Australia, New Zealand and South Africa are more likely to adopt this style of play faster than India and Pakistan. I think, actually basketball mentality, Ibrahim by Pakistan would adopt, but we have Babar, but Rizwan can also play a little bit faster. But they could actually do this very well, Pakistan, if they try to imply it, because they've got big hitters. Like they've got, if they look at their squad and if they make a proper squad around it, maybe you could see a lot of things. But again, the conditions, adoption in Sena countries in particular for swing and bounce and stuff, wo hisab se India, Pakistan, maybe I agree with you. New Zealand also, like they're more traditional. Who do they have? And Kane Williamson is going to get out soon, off like retired. They have Tom Latham. Yeah, Tom Latham can probably be decent call, and then you have Devon Conway. But I don't know. I think they're more calmer kind of mentality, more like by good books kind of people. Like, so I feel like that. South Africa again, like the squad that they have right now, they're still in a rebuilding process. Maybe it'll be harder for them as well. Like I know they have Dean Elgar again. The great नहीं दिखता मेरे को. और कौन है यार, वही अपने जितने भी Kaptemba Babuma and all of these guys. So I don't know. Babuma is good, but again, they're in a rebuilding structure. They need to find players a bit. Maybe it'll take them time. So Australia is the only one that I look at it. Probably like Pakistan can do it second if they really put their heads to it. But India again, they have the talent, but it's just the criticism with it. It's too hard to see that. We are losing in semis and finals on a regular basis. That means the team has the capability, but is not overcoming the pressure of the final, which we feel a coach and a captain देखो I mean ठीक है अगर then what see अगर आप my question here Pandar is like you're wearing 8 games in a row like let's just take a अपने छोटे tournaments जो होते हैं 9-10 में आके आप कैसा हकते थे like अगर आप 8 games से you must be brimming with confidence each and every one of us right 11 played on the field we must be brimming with confidence yeah the semis में the crucial calls that a captain and coach have to take the 11 that they form and stuff like that but on regular occasions we see the best team coming out which whatever is social either there's always a Bumrah injured or someone but I still feel it's also an individual issue that we have the players who probably pedestal पे बहुत जल्दी चढ़ गए थोड़े like थोड़े बहुत maybe a very few that are raised higher than what they are like what we see an English striker in football अरे उसको चढ़ा दिए something like that I think India में थोड़ा थोड़े प्लेयरों के साथ हो गया with 1 century in England 2 centuries here 1 double 100 3 double so वो लड़ा जब सिर पे चढ़ जाते I think I feel it's an issue of that yeah Rohit Sharma Virat Kohli all of these guys also step in I'm not saying नहीं वो भी एक है issue but even थोड़े बहुत जो बाकी के player आए you don't see them coming through and I mean Rohit Virat they'll get you till the semis and finals and at least someone has to take responsibility from the other people as well that you have to sort of finish it off and I don't know it's just like I can't always blame the coach and captain for everything maybe sometimes you've got to look at the individual performances and how it was how unlucky was the SRS player yeah man पूरे नजर लगा दिया और बच्चे को हम लोग किया बेचारा उन्हें अच्छा प्रूव कर रहा पॉइंट के मेरे को खेलने आता है ना प्रीटी श्योर एसआरएस पीपल वर वाचिंग दिस एंड गेटिंग शॉक के भाई इन्हें इसको खेलना भी आता है लाइक मुस्तफा सेड उसको थोड़ा फ्लैटर सरफेस दो ही इज गोना गिव यू एवरीथिंग दैट you know he's going to hit you with everything he hit 108 in gardens as well and he was on his way man today bhi salaga ki he was on his way to get some kind of a century half century at least अच्छा अच्छे मोमेंटम में था लीविंग द बॉल करेक्टली डिडंट लुक हेसिटेंट मेरे को तो बहुत मजा आ रहा था उसका बैटिंग देख के बट उसकी विकेट देख के और हंसी आई बट अनफॉर्चुनेटली ही हैड टू गो बैक रोल डाउन मैन हाउ डू यू नॉट थोड़ा बहुत हिलना है थोड़ा बैट वेव करना थोड़ा ये करना समथिंग बट ही डिडंट ट्राई एनीथिंग ही जस्ट स्टूड विद हिज बैट इन द एयर एंड ही जस्ट डिडंट लाइक move at all and just unfortunately rolled behind his back. Elgar will be done after the series against India in December. Markram and D. Zori Rickleton will be going forward, and then it'll be only Bavumana as an anchor restorer. Yeah, I think then Markram will be a very good leader. But again, who's going to be the next captain? I think it's Markram only, right? If I'm not wrong. But if they have good hitters, they can try it out. But again, it's just that um, you've got to really understand the depth of your players. You've got to understand if your players are that capable as well. And that's what Ben Stokes knows, that all of his players are capable of hitting. All of his players are trying. He did instill the confidence. I'm not going to say that. And that's what the role, Punter is talking about. कि भाई आप confidence instill करो from captain and coach's perspective. आप लंबी रस्सी दो. जो आप देखो Baz like Brendan McCullum and Ben Stokes are doing, they're giving long ropes like because there's no one else coming from the outside. It's a dedicated 15-man squad, same in ODI, same in T20. So everybody's playing with that freedom that we have enough time. We have enough time to make ourselves, build ourselves as a player. Either situation as like South Africa really need to understand they have to give time to the process. They have to have enough players also in the side to play the one days and like it's a whole thing that Ian Morgan started, but they've just took it forward and remodeled it, restructured it a bit, and you see the result. The thing is, the confidence has to be instilled from the top, and then it's on the players to sort of translate that confidence and responsibility into performances, which you see with England. And you see Ollie Pope, he stood there in New Zealand. You see Harry Brook, he got hundreds back to back. You see Bairstow, एक साल के बाद सीधा team में Ben Foakes आना क्या अच्छा keeper है. You see Slack Raleigh today. तो लंबे लंबे रस्सियां दो, confidence boost करो कि नहीं तू कर सकता है. Which team was that in the IPL जो बोला he the performances, I need a performance from me. I think it was Dhoni to Ambati Raidu, I think. or it was someone else. I can't remember. Was it from Gujarat? That your performances are coming, your performances are coming, and when Lambi Rasi they said that I think it's Dhoni only who was the one of that, and he kept playing a particular player. But you see the confidence, the Lambi Rasi, that's what you need, and that translates into results and the results, and that's what it is. Uh, Agreed, but then that's how India's fan base is. Aaj Raja Kal Gali, they get humble soon. Uh, yeah, I mean that's there. But again, when you're a player at that level, also तुम्हारा दिमाग थोड़ा वैसा भी रहना, right? Like तुम नहीं चढ़ जाना, and fans तो fan ही रहेंगे. They will obviously expect the best, but that's the difference in like fan mentality in India and fan mentality everywhere else. Football में देखो हारे भी तो अपन टीम को ज्यादा गालियां नहीं देते, like we're all to the next one. Yeah, we get upset with the individual performances and stuff. We don't point out one particular person, right? Like because there are 11 players. Like cricket देखो, we see they go to the big names, like even me, like even anyone else, because the expectations are so much from them because we build them up. But we don't look at like in this test match, like we won't look at you know जो भी उमेश यादव and all of this. Yes, गाली, but जाएंगा सीधा गाली किसको? रोहित शर्मा, विराट कोहली, Pujara, and all of the, yeah, they were the main culprits, I'd say. But again, 11 people were there on the team sheet, and if Umesh Yadav probably bowled better, if Shardul bowled better, maybe lesser runs. I don't know. I'm just thinking it from that aspect. I could always be wrong, but it's like that, right? Like up in cricket, we just tend to sort of well, they direct our attention to one or two people because उतनी उम्मीदें जुड़ा देते हैं, and अपन बाकियों को then one Shubman Gill, one KL Rahul come and hit a century, then अपन pedestal पे चढ़ा देते हैं, बेचारों को गालियां देते थे. But that's what I'm saying. Like that's it is. They are doing that. They are doing that. The coaches are busy with South Africa A team looking at players and identify a group they want to play. Yeah, 100%. I think it's time because to beat this England squad, आपको attacking cricket तो खेलना पड़ेगा. Attacking brand of cricket के आप बस like Ben Stokes has taught, I think, everybody how to play Test cricket to an extent. Like, yeah, traditional cricket will probably slow them down sometimes. Like, if you see Australia, if they stick to their guard and play properly, they might tire out these English people. But it's gonna be hard to do that as well. And it's not always going to be like Baseball is winning, but because they have that depth, because they have that, they have that leeway, then I think that's why England are capable of doing. Do you agree? Do you agree what Gambhir says? Media has made it an individual sport rather than a team sport. Uh, yeah, I think he's mostly talking about which 2011 क्या situation है. But yeah, he's right to an extent. I completely agree with him. देखो बॉस, अगर अपन अपने टीम में देख लो, like मैं तो कभी international, like look at X-Men for example, like all of you all, one guy probably one match he'll take away. So it will come to a point where 11 matches where 11 people will perform. So it's not always going to be one man oriented. Maybe one man's performance would out to 11 because उन्हें ऐसे कीचड़ में से निकाल के लेके आया. But I still feel like I Gambhir to an extent I agree. Like that World Cup, Yuvraj Singh was there, Gautam Gambhir was there, MS Dhoni was there, Sachin Tendulkar was there. There were 11 people on the field, and 11 people were responsible for that World Cup. But yes, Dhoni, why we praise him so much is because of his class changes, because of his ability to take risky decisions, because he instilled confidence also, right? He didn't do a lot of squad chop and change, and he worked well with the coach, and the coach and him together made a game plan. So when your captain is responsible as well with the coach, that's also a different thing, what you said before. But I do agree that it shouldn't be an individual sport. At the end of the day, you need to blame everybody, and everybody needs to play for the captain and coach, and everybody and the coach and the captain also need to back the 11. So it's like that. um, Waiting for Brevis to get in that essay. Yeah, Deval Brevis to बेचारा मुंबई के टीम में नहीं घुसा. I don't know what he's going to do with this situation of South African Test cricket. But I feel he's a talent. उसको ऐसे T20 में हम ना देखे थे. And yeah, he was something. I mean, he's had a 160, and I think he was crazy. Young talent तो अच्छा है भाई, but the only thing अब इंडिया के हिसाब से अगर आप लोग देखो, I don't know how we can do it, but how do we restructure the process which I've been going in since like 30 years or 40 years now? Like कब से चल रहा भाई, सेम चीज वही चल रही कि इन्हें आ गया, उन्हें आ गया, इन्हें इधर से आ गया, उन्हें उधर से आ गया. We need to really understand that we really need to understand कि भाई uh, this is how the game is changing. We need to evolve, but also we need our Ranji players to go out, get exposed. Uh, Conditions kya hai aise na countries mein, before you're in that mountain of international cricket, you should at least have a flavor of what's to come. And that's what it is. Like don't get exposed, you don't know who is who. How many of us can probably put our hands on heart? Probably a few, I'm pretty sure, jo Ranchi cricket dekhte, right? But I don't know, me personally ज़्यादा नहीं देखता हूँ मैं, because मेरे को इंटरनेशनल में इतनी चीज़ें हैं. But yeah, one more team that comes to mind, अगर बेसबॉल की बात करें, अफगानिस्तान है यार. अगर अफगानिस्तान सही अपना पावर यूटिलाइज करे ना, उनला भी बेसबॉल खेल सकते हैं. Like I know they're getting belted against Bangladesh, which brings me to the next match of the day. Bangladesh was happening. I think they set a target of what 662 या कुछ का target है, and already they're 2 down 45. They have still, like, I think 2 days to go. But Shanto, main man, 2 centuries in 2 innings. Incredible performance from Najmal Shanto. I think fantastic batsman. He's really found his rhythm this year. I think after the Indian series in particular, he took things uh, very boldly, and he really improved his game and technique. I think Mushfiqur Rahman also got a century in the second innings along with Shanto. So yeah, Shanto and sorry, Momin al Haq, I think Shanto and Momin al Haq really giving it back to the Afghanistan. Afghanistan is the country that's learning how to play cricket right now. They're learning, just like I think the very second test series for them, I think श्रीलंका के अगेंस्ट खेले थे, फिर अब ये है. So I think मेरे हिसाब से it's just thing, but they could really play baseball, man. If if Afghanistan get to it, maybe, you never know, we could see things. Gambhir is talking about both 2007 and 2011. Even Harbhajan commented on a post showing his dissatisfaction. Yeah, I mean, they see, everyone is going to get dissatisfied because you're getting praised, not getting praised, right? Like if I'm doing all the work and people are like praising someone else just because he's like the head of the whole thing, or vice versa, so it'll obviously annoy you. So it's got to be the team thing. It's got to be, and Gambhir, like nobody forgets what Gambhir did. Nobody forgets what I just, like, नाम ज़्यादा उसका इसलिए आ रहा because उन्हें कैप्टन था, उन्हें रिस्क लिया. हरभजन 2007 में because उन्हें बॉल लेने से मना करा. So बहुत चीज़ें रहते हैं. But at the end of the day, yeah, you give credit to Dhoni. Yes, I love Dhoni, one of the best captain. But also you don't forget the gems that were there who added. And I don't think Dhoni also forgets. It's not his fault. People just like him because they could relate to him. He came from nowhere, उन्हें एकदम से success बन गया overnight and stuff like that. He also mentioned 1983 World Cup, in which actually Mohinder Amarnath was the very but couple days portrayed everywhere. Yeah, maybe that's just the India media. They always see bandwagon mentality. यार पंटर आपको भी मालूम bandwagon mentality बोले तो जिसकी चल रही है आप देख लो. Like a lot of these Instagram pages who don't watch the match, who don't watch cricket in general, for content, like any lifestyle trend का पेज उठा के देख लो, right, on Instagram or Twitter. कुछ भी अगर hype हो रहा है, विराट कोहली सेंचुरी मारा, they'll start posting about it because they don't know shit about cricket, but just because विराट कोहली is hitting it, they'll bring it down. The other day someone does, they won't even post it. But the thing is, Virat Kohli, MS Dhoni, and all of these guys, Mahi मार रहा है, ये सब चीज़ें उन लोगों के pages को like वो algorithm में help करता है and stuff like that. And then इन लोगों की obviously, and they deserve the credit, Dhoni and Kohli. It's not their fault. Like you said, it's also internet that these pages, just for their attraction, who are not even related to sports or not even related to cricket, they start posting about all of these people because they'll get them likes and subscribe, and अरे इन lines के बारे में बात करते हैं and stuff like that, a differential topic. उसके बाद आप sort of you just forget all of these things. तो वो आप जैसा बोले वाह वाही में भी कभी कभी लोग भूल जाते हैं and stuff like that. Like no, like we know about Kef and Yuvraj Singh's 326 chase, right? Like we know that because we saw it live and stuff like that. When like those guys were also incredible. Mohammad Kaif and Irfan Pathan was incredible. Zahir Khan was one of India's best bowlers, but आप कहीं ना कहीं नजरअंदाज हो जाते because of what's going on around. Brevis should be in the SA team, so I think maybe he will be in a World Cup squad, as both South Africa Test and White Ball coach have had a chance to work with him on recent SA tour of Sri Lanka. Yeah, I mean, development के लिए तो जबरदस्त है. He's got good experienced players also, like in his camp in the South African team, which can help him elevate his game. But it'll take him some time. Like he's still young, and I'm pretty sure he's roaring to go as well. King Bhai, how are you, sir? Everything good? I'm pretty sure आप अभी भी upset हैं WTC का सोच के, but it's all good, man. In the one day game against Sri Lanka, they made Brevis bat at number 10 and bowl as well, which is hinting that Brevis class in Miller might say be as finisher for bowler. And I think they're smart, Ibrahim Bhai, because what they're trying to do is they're trying to get all rounders, and they've seen the importance of an all rounder, right? All rounder की जब आप importance समझ में गए, like a Hardik Pandya or a Cameron Green, you're starting to do that, and that's very good. I think from South Africa's perspective, because they'll have more options to bowl. And yeah, I think it's gonna be crazy to see these guys, like if he's getting to bowl and stuff, developing him in the right areas. It should be good. So yeah, Klassen and Milner already. मैं Klassen की तो मैं wait कर रहा हूँ. Like I have to see more of this guy, man. I West Indies के against देखा था मैं उसको. He was a class act. IPL में he was a class act. Not just because he was from Sunrisers, just even from a neutral point of view. I'm pretty sure आप लोग सब agree करते हैं. David Miller is a legend of this game. We know that for a fact. World Cup में they're looking like they're trying to get the best team, and hopefully they can get out that choker thought process, that choker mentality जो भी लोग label कर चुके हैं उन लोगों को बेचारों को. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. But coming back to main match, day one of the Ashes, it just went past by, I think, 85 overs. जितने भी ओवरलास्ट डले पूरा, it just went in a flash. लाइक मतलब हमेशा उधर ड्रामा होते रहता कुछ तो भी. किसी का विकेट चलेगा, किसी का एज हो गया, किसी का वो हो गया, किसी का ये हो गया. So I think it's just been fantastic to witness, and revolutionized Test cricket. I never expected I would see 390 runs, 400 runs scored in one day. I think 474 जो पाकिस्तान ने मारा था, उसके बाद तो मैं शॉक में आ गया. तो yeah, it was something. uh, आपको क्या लगता है कि जे कप कौन कौन जीतेगा? कौन सा एशेस का पूछ रहे हो आप, किंग भाई, या आप वर्ल्ड कप का पूछ रहे हो? लाइक सो दैट आई कैन गेट. अगर एशेस का आप पूछ रहे हो तो मेरे को तो इंग्लैंड लगता है 3-1. वर्ल्ड कप तो अभी दूर है, पहले तो इंडिया वेस्ट इंडीज आएगा, फिर अपन वर्ल्ड कप का सेंगे. बट एशेस का जिस तरीके से अभी बेन स्टोक्स की थॉट प्रोसेस है, और 4-0 पहले के एशेस में ऑस्ट्रेलिया में हारे थे, तो मेरे हिसाब से तो मेरे को जो लग रहा, बेन स्टोक्स रिवेंज मोड में है. और भाई वो लोग रुकने के मूड में नहीं दिख रहे, वो लोग अपना गेम खेलते रहेंगे और खेलते जाएंगे जिस तरीके से जा रहे हैं. एंड इट जस्ट लुक्स, देखने में मजा भी है, बट कभी कभी आप सोचते हो यार टेस्ट क्रिकेट, ऐसा कभी सोचा नहीं था कि देखेंगे ऐसा टेस्ट क्रिकेट जहाँ पे पब्लिक आके सिर्फ मारने जा रही है और कोई रुकने का सोच रहा ही नहीं है. बट या आई थिंक अगर आप एशेस की बात करो तो मैं तो 3-1 ही बोलूंगा. वर्ल्ड कप का तो अभी सोचना पड़ेगा, टीम्स देखना पड़ेगा, इंजरी क्या है, कौन है कौन नहीं है. बुमराह, अच्छा, देयर वाज आल्सो एन अपडेट दैट बुमराह एंड हु वाज दैट, श्रेयस अय्यर इज टारगेटिंग द एशिया कप टू कम टू एशिया कप में रिटर्न करने का चांस मार रहे हैं श्रेयस अय्यर और जसप्रीत बुमराह, विच लुक्स होपफुल. बट अगेन यू नेवर नो, फिर एशिया कप आते 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 फिर कुछ हो जाएगा. एज ऑफ नाउ तो हाइब्रिड है पाकिस्तान एंड श्रीलंका. बट वर्ल्ड कप के अगर फिक्सचर की बात करें, आई थिंक पाकिस्तान आज एक स्टेटमेंट निकाला था, आई डोंट नो हु इट वाज, हु नजम सेठी आई थिंक, who said कि first we need to be able to go to the World Cup. So government के ऊपर है, I think right now that Pakistan is going to go to the World Cup or not. Still a work in pro. I don't know what's happening recent times with Pakistan. They really कुछ तो भी बेचारों का हो रहा मसला कंसिस्टेंटली. एंड या इट्स जस्ट सैड टू सी. टीम अच्छी है, टीम का चैलेंजिंग रहती है, मजा आता क्रिकेट देखने में. इंडिया पाकिस्तान या पाकिस्तान इन जनरल आल्सो बिकॉज ऑफ द क्वालिटी ऑफ बॉलिंग दैट दे हैव इन देयर साइड. बट रुक के देखना पड़ेगा. मैं तो देखो भाई, डेफिनेटली देखिए आप ये एशेस एंड यू विल रियली एंजॉय इट. मजा आने वाली है. एंड या इट्स जस्ट बीन ग्रेट फन डे वन. एंड मेरे हिसाब से तो या इंग्लैंड 3-1 स्मैश करने वाली है. बेन स्टोक्स ऑन 1 foot, इट्स बीन सेंसेशनल. एंड या मेरे को ये है कि या बेन स्टोक्स का भी एक इंटरेस्टिंग चीज हुई थी कि ही सॉर्ट ऑफ reviewed unnecessarily. I don't know why he reviewed, but it's been good. Punt could be back for the Australia series and the World Cup if he continues to record. I don't really see that happening, Ibrahim bhai, because Punt, like, yeah, he's walking the stairs and stuff, but cricket fitness will take him time. Getting his speed back will take him time. Coming in a batting shape will take him time. And it's already what, half of June, so you have July, August, September, 3 months. They have Asia Cup, and then getting him in the squad, will it be counterproductive? Like in terms of people will start questioning his return ekdam se in the team. I know not a lot of people because of the emotional factor here, but I don't know. KL Rahul be injured, so yeah. Also injury is quite a lot in that department. But Ishan Kishan is there as well. That could be an argument going forward at who will probably be there. He does look good right now. I mean, he's walking without I think crutches or something, and it looks good that he's recovering faster. Obviously, age के हिसाब से भी जल्दी जल्दी heal जाते हैं, young ही है वो अभी तो. तो in that aspect, I would still say कि अच्छा है. And the bones heal faster in that age rather than like 30 35 में अगर आपका injury हुई तो it'll take all the more time. But yeah, it's just I don't know केएल राहुल की इंजरी का एक्सटेंड क्या है. उसके बाद और कौन, ईशान किशन तो है फिट बट उसकी फॉर्म उतनी ग्रेट नहीं है. केएल राहुल का भी बात करा था. देन यार ऋषभ पंत ही दिमाग में आ रहा. केएस भरत, वुड ही प्ले द वर्ल्ड कप? वी नीड टू सी. इंडिया का मैच कब होगा? इंडिया का मैच भाई साहब जुलाई में है. इंडिया वेस्ट इंडीज विल स्टार्ट ऑन 16 जुलाई. उसकी टीम अभी अनाउंस नहीं हुई है. स्टिल वेटिंग ऑन थिंग. बांग्लादेश अफगानिस्तान भी चल रहा है. उधर लग्जरिया पिंडे में मिला दी अपने अफगानिस्तान को. क्वाइट अच्छा खेल रही है बांग्लादेश. Bangladesh is also one of the teams that I'm very worried about, that they might be a very good challenge for India, Pakistan, and all of these teams. They're playing fantastic cricket of late, and same with Afghanistan as well. I mean, ये तो टेस्ट सीरीज है, बट वनडे स्फीयर में बहुत अच्छे रह चुके हैं. तो या 16 जुलाई से वेस्ट इंडीज में है ये. सो इट्स जस्ट गोना बी सीइंग के कब होने वाला है इंडिया वेस्ट इंडीज का थिंग, और कौन कौन जाता है वुड बी मोर इम्पोर्टेंट. शुभमन गिल को बोल रहे हैं कि कैप्टन बनाने वाले हैं शायद, बट इट विल बी, you will have to wait and watch about that thing. But BCCI and NCA said this as Pant had already started doing fitness drills to try. It's like, yeah, now it's about the thing that like how it works is आपका ACL will obviously आप जोड़ के ऑपरेशन जो करते जुड़ जाता है, बट फिर adaptation of that to the bone and stuff वो थोड़ा process लगता है. But yeah, I'm pretty sure NCA now they've got much more experience than me and everyone else. But generally that's how the injury has to the strength. But maybe he could return. It could be good for India. It will be a very big booster for India if he's able to get in the team before the World Cup and probably get a few, even if he doesn't manage to play the Australia series, even if he's just back for a couple of practice matches here and there, I think it'll be good for him. Like he could get anywhere next session and stuff like that. So we think but yeah, I think we'll just have to wait till then. हार्दिक पांड्या को बनाना चाहिए कैप्टन. हार्दिक पांड्या को बना सकते हैं भाई, लेकिन इंजरी का प्रॉब्लम है. T20 में बना हुआ है वो ऑलरेडी कैप्टन, बट आई डोंट नो ओडीआईज में उसकी फिटनेस के ऊपर इतना सवाल है कि उसको रख सकते बट नहीं रख सकते भी वाला सिचुएशन है उसके साथ. T20 में इसलिए रख सकते क्योंकि वो अपन आईपीएल में देखे हुए उसको, एंड ऑल्सो दिस आईपीएल ही गॉट देम इनटू अ फाइनल. ही हैज अ गुड वे ऑफ हैंडलिंग प्लेयर्स, बट अगेन इन द 50 ओवर स्क्वाड वो 10 ओवर में से 6 ओवर डालता है. ज़्यादा फिट नहीं रहता बेचारा. इसका प्रॉब्लम है लोअर बैक में. अब देखना है इफ ही इज एबल टू रिकवर एंड स्टफ. बट हार्दिक पांड्या का यही प्रॉब्लम है कि ही हैज़ लाइक फ्यू इश्यूज विद हिम. श्रेयस अय्यर का भी इंजरी प्रॉब्लम है. लाइक वर्ल्ड कप का अगर कैप्टन अगर अपन देख रहे हैं लाइक द फ्यूचर, अगर अपन इमीडिएटली सोचे तो ऋषभ पंत बेस्ट ऑप्शन है. मैं शुभमन गिल भी नहीं बोलूंगा क्योंकि शुभमन गिल तो बहुत लाइक अभी बेचारा अभी तो बैटिंग करना लाइक उसका स्टार्ट हुआ है. सो just give him some time with the bat and don't give him responsibility up front. Let him get one part of his game right, and then he could probably focus on all the other stresses that come with the Indian captaincy. Because अगर आप देख लो कोहली जब सेंचुरी मारा था और रिप्लाई में सेंचुरी मारा था तो शुभमन गिल को आईपीएल में गिन दिए थे. So that was a lot of hate. So for me, I think it just it's a matter of time, but you'll get there. I think that's something else. Pandya, if he plays ODI, has to play as an all-rounder. In T20, he can still play as a batsman. But yeah, exactly. He have to really play as a all-rounder and not as a, like he'll have to play as an all-rounder as well. And T20, he can play as a batsman. But like again, that's where the fitness thing comes. And I don't know what he's doing with his body and physique. I think he is probably working on it. But he does. We do need like 6, 7, 8 solid overs. Kabhi we'll need from him if people like Shami Siraj, Bumrah, if they get injured or someone, he has to step up. He has to be the Cameron Green. Cameron Green is more reliant at this point of time. And we need to get a big innings also from Pandya from the middle. Like that's where the main problem is, where we're having Akshar Patel and all of these guys coming. Akshar Patel था और कौन वॉशिंगटन सुंदर जब न्यूजीलैंड के श्रीलंका के अगेंस्ट दोनों बचाए थे, ऑलमोस्ट बचा लिए थे. Surya Kumar has to step up as well. So a lot of things, but captaincy, while yeah, it's still a big question. मैं आप गुजरात में रहते हैं, सो आपको तो बेटर ही पता होगा हार्दिक पांड्या के बारे में, या यू बिकॉज आपका कैप्टन है. सो उस हिसाब से तो बात समझ में आ रही है. एंड या आई थिंक वो तो वर्ल्ड कप एंड एशिया कप का तो मोर मेरे को इंटरेस्ट है कि क्या होने वाला है, बिकॉज जस्ट सो मेनी डेज इधर उधर के बाद फाइनली एक टेम्पलेट निकला है। वो टेम्पलेट चलेगा नहीं चलेगा, पाकिस्तान आएगी नहीं आएगी, वो बहुत सवालात है। एंड अभी इंग्लैंड को टेस्ट में ही देख के डर हो रहा है, तो वनडेज में क्या करेंगे वो सोच रहा हूँ मैं। लाइक जॉस बटलर इज आल्सो इक्वली लाइक अप फॉर द चैलेंज, एंड they're they weren't in the best of form, but recent times में Bangladesh को हराए and they've managed to get a few wins under their belt against South Africa. So England have reached good form in ODIs Test cricket. They're smashing it. They beat England, they beat Pakistan, they beat New Zealand, and they've just been very very good in the recent times. And baseball is something that's taking everybody by a storm. Nobody is safe from this epidemic of and yeah, I'm sorry, thoda internet यूं हो गया था, but yeah, so it's new to everybody. It's something that no one has ever witnessed, and now it's finally coming in the limelight. People, they have been working it in the background, and now it's right in front of us. And I think it's the best way to play right now. Also, yeah, I'm a little bit conservative. I still want to see a few class shots and stuff like that, but that's what where Zach Crawley, Joe Root, these guys, right? So I think it's been crazy uh, from that perspective as well. इंडिया में आ जाएगी पाकिस्तान, आई मीन वो सवाल देखना पड़ेगा, बिकॉज कुछ ना कुछ इस पे कंट्रोवर्सी होते जा रही है, कहीं ना कहीं गवर्नमेंट का भी कॉल होगा उस पे। बट आई थिंक आ जाएगी एट द एंड ऑफ द डे। आई फील मे बी अभी अहमदाबाद से आई थिंक थोड़ी दिक्कत है, सो मे बी दे माइट चेंज द लोकेशन ऑफ द मैच, बट आई डोंट थिंक दे विल एट सो, बिकॉज कहीं ना कहीं 1,20,000 की कैपेसिटी है मोदी स्टेडियम में, सो दैट कुड ऑल्सो बी अ बिग फैक्टर। अगर आ गई तो होपफुली हम भी आ जाएंगे अहमदाबाद किंग कोहली से मिलने। बट आई थिंक अभी उसके सवाल प्रॉब्ली अगस्त या सितंबर से आप शुरू कर सकते हो, बिकॉज अभी तो देखिए अब सिर्फ स्पेकुलेशन हो रहा है, सिर्फ सोच विचार हो रहा है, अभी कुछ कॉन्क्रीट मिलेगा भी नहीं आपको। अभी तो लिस्ट भी वर्ल्ड कप का स्केड्यूल ही नहीं निकला है, सो दैट इज ऑल्सो वन मोर थिंग दैट इज अ लिटिल बिट सस्पेक्टफुल के कहीं बैटरी नहीं है, प्रॉब्लम। तो दैट्स इट। पीसीबी वांट पाकिस्तान टू प्ले 2 matches out of 4 in Pakistan, out of the 4 in Pakistan, but it's not possible as Pakistan are the same group as. Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. Pakistan, India, and Nepal are in the same group, and I think they can't provide Z-level security to our players, and that's also one of the issues. Uh, Now, PCB from their point of view, I understand why they want Pakistan to play, because they want public and they need revenue and whatever it is, but it's just very hard for them right now to do that. And yeah, I think they can't even change the groups at these points. I don't know on what basis the groups are made of, so I'm not pretty sure. But yeah, it's difficult, this one, right? So it's just okay. We'll need to really think about that later on जब वर्ल्ड कप अप्रोच होगा, जब वर्ल्ड लाइक एशिया कप का भी है, लाइक एशिया कप का भी है, एंड दैट्स आल्सो लाइक राइट इन अगस्त और समथिंग, व्हेन इज द फर्स्ट मैच? आई एम रियली नॉट श्योर। स्केड्यूल आई थिंक निकला नहीं, खाली ग्रुप्स बटे हैं। एंड 9 इन श्रीलंका स्टिल इज दोनों इंडिया पाकिस्तान को अकोमोडेट करने का, बट या ये गिच्ची तो चलते जा रही भाई, ये तो बढ़ते जा रहा है ये प्रॉब्लम, इंडिया पाकिस्तान इन टर्म्स ऑफ क्रिकेट आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट। दिस प्रॉब्लम इज वेरी much now. Every time if there's a tournament in the subcontinent, particularly India Pakistan, we always have some kind of an issue. आप इंग्लैंड में रख लो, ऑस्ट्रेलिया में रख लो, यूएई में रख लो, कभी भी प्रॉब्लम। आई थिंक कहीं ना कहीं दे शुड जस्ट ड्रॉप एवरीथिंग एंड से के बॉस, ना पाकिस्तान में हो पा रहा, ये यूएई में कर दो एंड एशिया कप खत्म कर दो, पूरे को द रिच, एंड दैट वुड बी बेटर। पाकिस्तान के बाद पता नहीं है चिली, नहीं है चिली, पाकिस्तान के बाद नहीं है चिली। आई हैव क्या है कि अभी तो खैर वील वेट फॉर इट। अभी तो एशेज चल रहा है, 5 टेस्ट है, वो एंजॉय करेंगे। दिस फॉर्मेट इज गोइंग टू बी epic, and yeah, I think I'm very interested in this one. I mean, WTC के बाद I think कुछ mood lifter अगर इंडियन फैंस के लिए है, then it's this. It's just been an amazing day of cricket बोल रहा हूँ मैं, ये तो फर्स्ट डे के ऊपर है, तो I can't wait for the rest of this test match and the rest of the test matches to come. I hope dramatic, 1-1, 2-2, 3-3 के बाद कुछ सा final हो, but I just feel England ज़्यादा smash करने के chances है। Imagine Afghanistan and Bangladesh eliminate Sri Lanka and the Afghanistan and Bangladesh eliminate Sri Lanka and the Pakistan. Like, yeah, that would be crazy. Then that'll be sad also for Sri Lanka. I mean, Afghanistan. Yeah, man. If they do eliminate Sri Lanka and Pakistan, and Sri Lanka coming back home would be hard for them, right? Imagine Sri Lanka becomes hostile, and that'll be bad for everyone. Sri Lanka starts saying कोई नहीं खेलना यहाँ पे, too much हो जाएगा, हंसी आ जाएंगे फिर तो. Like everybody is just losing it because Sri Lanka will knock out, and now there's no need of a home support per se for Sri Lanka, right? So that would be a very funny thing. India Pakistan Babar ka birthday है, yes, 15th या 14th October, 15th October, I think. Yeah, Babar ka birthday bhi hai. It's going to be interesting the way they're building it up. And I'm just curious to see what they come up with. But it's just been अभी बहुत से न्यूज़ आने वाले हैं, अभी अब बहुत से कट चॉप होने वाला है, अभी इंडिया की टीम का ही सोचना है, अभी बहुत और अभी क्या चेंजेस आने वाले हैं, क्या सिचुएशन है. And this all with us two nations in general, like that's the only issue one now. कभी कोई प्रॉब्लम था इंग्लैंड में आप डालो, कहीं भी डालो, कभी भी प्रॉब्लम नहीं देखो. बट व्हेन इट्स लाइक इंडिया, एंड ऑब्वियसली हिस्ट्री है, नॉट जस्ट क्रिकेट, पॉलिटिक्स, व्हाटएवर, बट स्पोर्ट, लाइक सिक्योरिटी इश्यूज, ये वो मेजर्स बहुत नेक्स्ट लेवल हो जाते हैं, एंड राइटफुली सो. But I think it's going to be a fantastic World Cup as well, and Asia Cup maybe scrap it also. Like अभी it's too close to the cut. अगर अपन September 17 को फाइनल है, which is going to be very close, एक महीना के पहले I think. फिर ऑस्ट्रेलिया का भी सीरीज है बीच में, उसके बाद आपका वर्ल्ड कप आ जाएगा. There'll be too much cricket just before the World Cup. Now that's where I'm scared कि अगर they go and play how many ever test, I think the 3 or 5 test, I think, yeah, 5 test. No, sorry, there's 2 tests and 5 1 days, I think. And then there's 2 tests, 3 ODI, and 5 T20s. मम्मा अगस्त 13 को एंड हो रहा है वेस्ट इंडीज का टूर. उसके बाद आप एशिया कप जाओगे, उसके बाद आप ऑस्ट्रेलिया खेलोगे, उसके बाद आप वर्ल्ड कप. सो दैट विल बी टू क्लोज टू द कट. It's gonna be neck and neck, and yeah, I think मेरे हिसाब से तो I feel India really need to understand the squad rotation, and they really need to take some time off, sort of relax करके करना पड़ेगा, and देखना पड़ेगा what decisions Rahul Dravid takes, what decisions Rohit Sharma takes. I'm just it's a lot of questions. अभी उसके जवाब तो अपने को as it unveils मालूम होगा. पहले तो अपने को स्क्वाड मालूम होना वेस्ट इंडीज की, फिर एशिया कप की, तो क्या होगा. So it's too much cricket going to again be played for India just before it is. Indian reporters are hyping England and Australia also for World Cup. Sports tak Vikrant Gupta predicted that both will score 400 plus on at least three times in the World Cup. I mean, wickets are much more flatter, and I think we are seeing that 393, but that's again 80 overs, and there's a little bit swing condition now, and there's wickets that don't have a lot of swing in it, and it's going to be flat. India में particularly monsoon के बाद थोड़ा बहुत fresh ही रहते wickets. But yeah, I could see that. Maybe you could see 400 from England. I could see that. The guy's probably right. It's not hyping, but it's accurate based on the data, right? Like in Australia, the way they're playing, England, the way they're playing cricket right now, comparing it to us in the condition that India provide. Yeah, again, but spin ka factor ho sakta. Yeah, that is one thing. I mean, it's going to be hard, but it's also possible. It's not impossible, but yeah, I guess they're going to probably score a bit. But it's just at that time, क्या सीन रहता, कैसा, कौन जाने वाला है, कौन आने वाला है, इंजरीज क्या है, बहुत चीज़ें लेना पड़ेगा अपने को, while we do it. But अभी तो देखो बस वर्ल्ड कप दूर है, एशिया कप है दूर है, वेस्ट इंडीज है. हिमांशु भाई, थैंक यू फॉर जॉइनिंग अस. सर, सूर्या को ओडीआई में सूर्या को खेलना चाहिए. हिमांशु भाई, आप ही बोलो मेरे को कि हाउ इज इट गोइंग टू बी, कि अगर आप लोग बोल रहे हो कि रोहित शर्मा को निकाल दो, इसको निकाल, लाइक आप नहीं, मतलब जनरली जो भी हमारी पब्लिक है, टेस्ट या ओडिया जैसे, क्योंकि रोहित शर्मा 36 का है भाई, वो चले जाएगा. उसके बाद आप विराट कोहली ठीक है, फिट है, चले जाएगा वो भी इन सम टाइम. आप नए बच्चों को चांस कब दोगे? अब जब रणजी से आ रहे हैं बच्चे, फिर उन लोगों का जब रणजी में परफॉर्म करोगे, आप लोग बोलोगे उन लोगों को चांस, राइट? सो ये जो क्या है, गाड़ी आगे बढ़ाने के लिए अपने को थोड़े पुरानों को भी पीछे छोड़ना पड़ता है. बट पुराने को पीछे भी नहीं छोड़ सकते, क्योंकि पुरानों का एक्सपीरियंस है, पुरानों को मैच जीतने की काबिलियत है, पुरानों को. अब आप धोनी के टाइम पे देख लो, धोनी ने थोड़ों को निकाला, थोड़ों को रखा, पूरों को कंप्लीटली नहीं निकाला. जहीर खान को रखा, तेंदुलकर को रखा, हरभजन को रखा, because he knew that he also needed experience and people who are willing to play for the match rather than they play for the individuality, यानी कि अकेले के गेम के लिए नहीं खेलना है. सूर्य कुमार जिस तरीके का क्रिकेटर है कोई उसको समझ नहीं पा रहा. वो 360 डिग्री T20 में ही हैव टू अडॉप्ट क्विक बिकॉज वो 32 का है. ही हैव टू अडॉप्ट क्विक टू 50 ओवर फॉर्मेट. अगर आप न्यूजीलैंड के अगेंस्ट देखो, ही हैज लाइक एक आध आई थिंक अच्छा पारी खेला था जहाँ पे ही चेंज्ड हिज वे ऑफ प्लेइंग. So he has to get used to that, which I see Surya Kumar being able to do that. And Surya Kumar Yadav बहुत अच्छा क्रिकेटर है, very good batsman. He has the ability to play spin, बट इट टेक हिम सम टाइम. तो प्रॉब्लम ये है कि भाई अपने को नहीं सबर नहीं रहता एज फैंस, बिकॉज हमारी उम्मीद इतनी जुड़ी हुई है बिकॉज ऑफ अपने जितना अपना क्वालिटी ऑफ क्रिकेट है हम उसके हिसाब से आईसीसी में नहीं परफॉर्म करते, कभी बायलैटरल्स में नहीं परफॉर्म करते. तो वो उम्मीद से क्या आता, फिर अपन 10-10 नाम संजू को ला लो, इसको ला लो, श्रेयस को ला लो, इसको ला. बट अगेन इंजरी का भी आप लिस्ट देख लो, हार्दिक पटेल का भी ज्यादा फिट नहीं रहता, श्रेयस अय्यर का भी फिट नहीं रहता ज्यादा, और कौन है, शुभमन गिल का छोड़ दो, वो तो अलग लेवल पे अभी. उसके बाद फिट की बात कर रहा हूँ मैं, फिट होते हैं एक मैच खेले फिर केएल राहुल का भी आ जाएगा, फिर उसका भी हो जाएगा, फिर ये चले जाएगा, फिर वो आ जाएगा, तो रोटेट होते जाएगी स्क्वाड, राइट. तो आई जस्ट फील ये मसला है कि भाई आप श्रेयस अय्यर फिट तो मुझे नहीं लगता. सूर्य मौका में मिलेगा, सूर्य को मौका मिलना चाहिए. सूर्य कुमार का एक चीज है जो कोई भी इंडियन क्रिकेटर में नहीं है, ही कैन इंक्रीज द रन रेट वेरी फास्ट. उन्हें आके बॉल वन से पूरा गेम का नक्शा बदल दे सकता, उन्हें आके बॉल वन से मारना शुरू कर सकता, उन्हें आके बॉलर्स की लाइफ मिजरेबल कर दे सकता है. अभी तक करा नहीं है इन द ओडीआई फॉर्मेट, बट अब T20 में अभी आप देख लो यार, वो 3 डक जब चेन्नई में ऑस्ट्रेलिया के अगेंस्ट 0 पे गया था, फिर आईपीएल के पहले 2 मैच में 0 पे गया था, बट फिर उसके बाद जो उन्हें पारी खेला था किसके अगेंस्ट था यार, वो 100 जो मारा था, ही स्मैश देम एब्सोल्युटली, राइट. सो सूर्य कुमार हैज एबिलिटी और उसको मौका बिल्कुल मिलना चाहिए. वो बहुत अच्छा प्लेयर है, महाराष्ट्र का कैप्टन आई थिंक था, इफ आई एम नॉट रॉन्ग, टेस्ट में या कुछ, या रणजी खेला हुआ है महाराष्ट्र, टेस्ट में भी मौका देना चाहिए. अगर आप बेसबॉल के जैसा इंडिया के साथ उम्मीद कर रहे हो हिमांशु भाई, अगर बेसबॉल खेलना है जिस तरीके से इंग्लैंड टेस्ट क्रिकेट खेलेगा, फिर आप सूर्य कुमार जैसे प्लेयर, श्रेयस अय्यर जैसे प्लेयर जरूरी है आपको खेलने के लिए फॉर दिस काइंड ऑफ टेस्ट क्रिकेट एज वेल. What are your thoughts on BCCI considering resting Rohit from West Indies tour as he feels tired and wants him to refresh up? And see, I mean that is the thing. This is already not. It's not new. It's I predicted like if it's actually happening, I don't know it, because this is what it is. Like now they'll realize workload management. I see BCCI will realize workload management and ask Rohit Sharma to rest down. Hanake Rohit Sharma has been resting after since when he got injured in Bangladesh. He rested. He rested against one more series if I'm not wrong. But this is what it is. They don't know when to take a break. They should have ideally taken a break whenever they could. Yeah, ये अच्छा time है, आपको break period मिल रहा, आप ले लो. This is in ideal context, I won't mind him taking a break for West Indies, because you would really need to take a break, refresh, recuperate, an Asia Cup, then World Cup. I get it. बट थ्रू आउट द ईयर आईपीएल भी अगर आप इतना सब में ब्रेक ले सकते थे, प्रॉब्ली अगर आपको मालूम था मेस आ रहा है तो आप लेना चाहिए था, बट आप नहीं लिए. चलो ठीक है, अब हो गया सो हो गया, रियली कांट डू एनीथिंग अबाउट इट. बट आई सॉ दिस कमिंग ऑलरेडी. मैं हमें पहले से ही देख लिया था कि भाई रोहित शर्मा को रिस्क कर देंगे, शायद विराट कोहली भी नहीं जाएगा, शायद a lot of people might not go, and if they don't then they'll consider Shubman Gill as the captain. बाकी तो इंजर्ड है, बट देखना पड़ेगा. Shreyas can't come in and become captain as well. they'll go with uh, they'll go with Shubman Gill probably just because of his form, and he'll be probably, they'll go with a younger squad. They'll go with Yashasvi Jaiswal will go. Jaiswal will get a chance 100%. Shubman Gill will get a chance. Obviously, Ishan Kishan will get a chance. Maybe like you see any other youngster, that's Akshar Patel will get a chance, and probably if like someone like Jadeja or some senior player goes, maybe they'll be captain, Shami or someone. But I don't see that. Let's see क्या होने वाला है. सर ओडीआई एंड T20 में ऋषभ पंत का रिकॉर्ड बहुत अच्छा नहीं है, बट टेस्ट मैच में ऋषभ पंत को या बिकॉज देखो वही है ना हिमांशु भाई, अब आप ऋषभ पंत को क्यों पसंद करते, बिकॉज उसका वे ऑफ प्लेइंग, वो गैबा टेस्ट में जहाँ पे बाउंसिंग वाली पेंटालिटी, पूरे लोग डगआउट में वापस चले गए थे, पूरे अपने बड़े बड़े खिलाड़ी, लेकिन ऋषभ पंत अकेले खड़ के काउंटर अटैकिंग क्रिकेट खेला था, सीधा रख के मुंह तोड़ जवाब दे रहा था, राइट. जहाँ पे बॉलर्स बाउंस करे थे वो बोला और डालो मैं और मारूंगा, एंड दैट्स व्हाट हिज मेंटालिटी इज. बट वही है, ऋषभ पंत के साथ भी सबर के साथ खेलने वाला T20 प्लेयर है वो, लेकिन वो बता नहीं पा रहा. ओडीआई में भी नहीं बता, वो जरा मेरे को भी इरिटेटिंग चीज दिखती है. बट अगेन ऋषभ पंत इन टेस्ट क्रिकेट डिफरेंट लीग, लाइक ही विल स्केयर द बॉलर्स, ही विल फोर्स कैप्टन ऑफ द ऑपोजिशन कि भाई आप फील्ड फैला के रखो, आप डीप कवर रखो, आप डीप मिड विकेट रखो, कवर एक्स्ट्रा कवर, लॉन्ग ऑन मिड ऑन कुछ तो भी रखो, जो आइडियली टेस्ट क्रिकेट में फील्ड नहीं रहती है, आप रखना पड़ता है, बिकॉज ऋषभ पंत वैसा प्लेयर है, और गैबा में आप देखो वो टेस्ट मैच कोई भी नहीं सोचे थे वो जीतेंगे। सो अगर आप WTC में भी अगर सोचें अगर ऋषभ पंत होता तो बहुत अलग सिचुएशन आ सकती थी शायद, या नहीं वही है ऋषभ पंत का इज द लाइक अ ट्रिक प्लेयर, ट्रम्प चला तो चला नहीं तो नहीं, बट सूर्या कुमार कैन आल्सो डू दैट, वही मैं आपको बोल रहा हूँ। Rahane as captain for West Indies could be yeah, 100% it could be a chance, but again he's like 35. Would they go with someone who's old, or would they go with someone who's going to be there in the team for another 2-3 years or a few more? I'm just thinking like that because I'm pretty sure people who are in the team would feel bad that he came from outside and he got a chance based on injuries. He did perform, but would you be able to, sort of sustain that? Is what I'm thinking. Zimbabwe refuses to play Pakistan because Zimbabwe refused to play Pakistan because Pakistan has to lose ना। वो I think T20 World Cup का जो जबरदस्त गेम था यार, वो पाकिस्तान जो हराई and stuff like that. Oh, the main man, the biggest fan of basketball is here.
Sorry, I'm late. What's up, bro?
Oh my God, you missed it all. Everybody was just booming about Ben Stokes and his decision of declaration.
Bro, what a day of Test cricket, man, huh? क्या था, runs, wickets, 100 from Joe Root, Nathan Lyon with a fantastic spell. It was incredible, bro. Amazing. I absolutely enjoyed it.
Yeah, 100%. It was entertaining. It was dramatic, away from conservative style, and yeah, Ben Stokes, man, he keeps his word, huh?
भाई मारते गए रुके ही नहीं. पहला ball set the tone. The last Ashes, it was a wicket from Stark. This Ashes, a cover drive for 4 from Zach Crawley. It set the tone, and they were losing wickets. One stage 180 for 5. मैं समझा शायद 250 में all out हो जाएंगे, मगर मारते गए. Bairstow, back from injury, but he looks still $1 million, man. What a innings from him. Rash shot in the end, rash shot from Moeen Ali as well. They could have got to 450 also. The way they were batting, but at the same time they could have got bundled out for 200. So I think they'll take that score. I felt that they should have just batted. There was no need to declare, but that's Ben Stokes for you, man. He's going to find every opportunity to try get a wicket. He wanted to bowl those last 3-4 overs and put pressure on David Warner and Usman Khwaja.
I think he expected more overs, but then they just got so over it and 6 over dock ho gaye. And the other thing was 2 wickets in hand. I don't know kitna damage. Ollie Robinson looked like well anyway going to get out at any moment. Couple of close calls for him as well. But the way Ben Stokes is, I think it was right. 393. But the wicket again, it's not moving a lot. You see it a bit flatter than usual. It's not that threatening also, but that odd ball is getting through. So
It's getting through,
carry
and
your
also
time.
it is a bit dry. Nathan Lyon was getting the ball to turn on day one, which is not something that we're used to England में. So Moeen Ali will have a say, especially against the left-handers. But Nathan Lyon, man, this guy is a high-quality bowler. उसके वजह से like नहीं तो और runs बन सकते थे. I think the way he bowled, tremendous control. जो flight उन्हें करा था, Moeen Ali को deceive करा, फिर Bairstow को भी जो deceive करा. He sees them very quickly when they're dancing down the track. And he adjusts very quickly. This guy is a top-class bowler, man. Nathan Lyon. I really enjoyed his spell. Bro, I could not. Her ball was so interesting. This is Test cricket, bro. This was the best thing. I'm so lucky that I got to see a day of cricket like this, man. Incredible. क्या मजा है यार, हाँ?
जबरदस्त यार।
तुम ऐसा सोने वाले ऐसा दिख रहा मेरे को. सॉरी मैं देर कर दिया, मगर भाई क्या मैच है. This is better than adult movies, bro. This was incredible, man.
A few people are a few people in the comments are waiting for me, so they're giving me indications in the comments.
Close call से अच्छा bro, भाईजान ये बंदा है. मैं 3-4 साल से इनसे मिलना चाह रहा हूँ. मोहम्मद जैद, अपॉइंटमेंट लेना पड़ेगा. नहीं, मेरे को फैज नहीं मिला रहा है इससे. I don't know what the problem is. I really want to meet him. हाँ,
अभी तो मैं मिल लूं तो बस बोल रहा हूँ.
तुम तो मिलते जा रहे, मेरे को नहीं मिलाता यार. मैं बंजारा हिल्स में 1 महीना अकेले था अपार्टमेंट में. बोला बुलाओ मोहम्मद जैद को, let me chill with him, bro. This guy, everybody who's watching, this guy is a fantastic footballer. He played in Neymar Junior tournament also, and very skillful. He's better than Faiz in football. He's better than me also. But Faiz, आप चले जाओ, मैं संभाल लूंगा सबको.
सबको संभाल आप, मैं इंशाल्लाह आपसे कल बात करता हूँ.
Okay, take care everybody. Take care, Faiz. Sorry, yeah. So yes, what I was saying about the game, this was proper Test cricket, incredible. I mean, not proper Test cricket, but incredible Test cricket. It was something different. This is modern day batting. It was so good. Even the way Pat Cummins was captaining, it was different, right? He had a point, deep point, first ball of the Test match, which I didn't really understand, but that's what it is. He was trying to control the runs, and in a way, I think it's been a 50-50 day. You see, Australia picked up wickets, and whenever they picked up wickets, England did build up partnerships, and thanks to that aggressive intent, they were going 4.95 runs in over every single over almost, and. I mean, throughout the session, the last two sessions, though, they're going almost 5 runs and over, even though they were losing wickets, and that allowed them to get close to 400. Otherwise, they could have been bundled for 280, 290. One thing that Joe Root did that I noticed, उन्हें जब रॉबिन्सन आया था, he wasn't farming the strike, he was giving the singles, he was trying to get as many runs as possible, and this has happened because of this new Ben Stokes Baz ball, whatever style of play, trying to milk every run possible. And credit to the tailenders as well, whether it's Robinson or anyone else, Stuart Broad also, the contribution he gave, like, they're taking responsibility, उन लोग भी single double निकाल रहे, boundaries भी मार रहे, and they've clearly worked on their batting, the tailenders, and that's allowed Joe Root also to get to his 100. It's not like he farmed the strike. उसमें क्या होता, he'll try to go for sixes and stuff and get to his 100, he'll get out. But here, he from 85 to 100, he was taking single double, single double, single double, because the other batsmen, whether it was Broad or Robinson, was taking that responsibility, blocking it out or taking a single themselves. So yeah, फैज भाई चले गए तो क्या मैं आ गया, अरे क्या बात है अबू बकर, वी हैव टू चिल सून, नेट्स करना है, आप मेरे को बता दो कब करना है. We'll chill this weekend for sure. I'm going to see you hopefully if you're free. Pakistan star batsman Rizwan has shared photo while doing namaz on the road. God is showing it to anyone. मैं कहाँ इसमें चले जाने भाई. Anderson not opening the bowling for first time since 2008 in England. Yeah, that is surprising. I would have liked to see him with the new ball, Jimmy Anderson. But I guess the Duke's ball, even after like 10, 12 overs, it does tend to do a bit still. So I think, also the fact that Broad has a record against Warner, that's what Ben Stokes wanted to try and exploit. Ki bhai, give him as many deliveries as possible to Warner and try to get him out. I think that last ball that Broad bowled to Warner, that was a close shave as well. But we will see Jimmy Anderson tomorrow, and that's the thing with England as well. The bowling, I think they'll have to be up to the mark. Australia, I felt they bowled really well, especially in patches. At times, they looked ordinary. Boland got hit. His economy was very high, but he got that massive wicket of Zach Crawley just before lunch, was it? No, before lunch, I think. That was a really good delivery. So I think Australia overall bowled well. Nathan Lyon was the pick of the bowlers, but at the same time, England batted really well as well in patches. The thing is with England is, apart from Joe Root, nobody, whoever got off to a start didn't really convert, whether that was even Harry Brooks dismissal, man, I didn't understand kya scene tha. It was it hit his leg, it went up somewhere, थाई को लग के ऊपर कहीं चले गया, उड़ गया हवा में, and then आके stumps को लग गया. It was like some Bollywood lagan stuff, man. I didn't understand that kind, like how he got out. Very unlucky, but the same time, the over before he was lucky, he got dropped by Travis Head. So I think it was Travis Head. So yeah, like you can say that 50-50 ho gaya. Bro, how to watch match here? I think you have to stream it. I'm watching it on IPTV. Abu Bakar, I don't know if you have that, but if you don't, like, I would recommend to get that. It has all the channels and everything. Yeah, you need a bit of good internet, but in Canada, the internet is always decent, so you should get that. Anderson, we took that. I think Rishabh Pant will be fit before Bumrah. When will Bumrah be fit? I don't know what the scene is. Pant, they're saying that they're trying to get him for the World Cup, but Bumrah also, they're saying maybe for the Asia Cup. He might come back, but there's still a long time to go for that. But yeah, today it was an incredible game, and attritional cricket, kya maza hai. I could not skip a ball. It was so good to watch. A very good competitive contest between bat and ball. I think England's got a good score, but Australia are still in it. Also, the fact that England, like, I've only batted one day. Australia get to bat on day two, and day two should still be good to bat on. And if Australia get past England or get close to England, then it's game on for them as well. Because look, if you see Jimmy Anderson is coming back from an injury, Robinson is coming back from injury, Broad, yes, he's in rhythm, but then Moeen Ali, he's not full-time spinner like Lyon, right? Like, of course, he will bowl quite a few overs and everything, but he is not aapka like like that main off spinner in your ranks. But in this test match or in this series right now, you only have him to rely on, maybe a bit of Joe Root. So how he bowls is also going to be another factor tomorrow. Will he be able to pick up wickets? Yes, there are left-handers in the opposition which they will try to exploit, मगर अब देखना पड़ेगा. तो उस हिसाब से कल should be a very good thing. But the way David Warner and Khwaja batted as well, I think they did a job. बहुत मुश्किल रहता वो वक्त, खाली 4-5 ओवर रिमेनिंग होता, लाइक लाइट भी थोड़ा कम होती रहती, एंड प्रेशर रहता ऑन द बैट्समैन. आई थिंक दे डिड अ गुड जॉब नॉट टू लूज द विकेट. बट यस, also, if you just take it back, Zach Crawley, I have to commend him because he hasn't been in that consistent for England. There's a lot of calls by usko drop maro. Magar aaj ne batting kara. He set the tone from ball one, the crashing four, and then after that, I think he only had 6 fours in his 50. But he was, because of his intent in the beginning, Pat Cummins spread the field, and that allowed him to take single double, and kept the scoreboard ticking. The run rate was still high because of that, and I have to really praise the way he batted. He set the platform for England. It allowed the other batsmen to come in as well and score runs, and it was a very, very good start from Zach Crawley, and hopefully he can learn to convert these into big hundreds. Joe Root, man, this guy is phenomenal. One of the best test batsmen in the world. Him and Steve Smith are top two. Probably if Steve Smith is one, Joe Root is two. Incredible batting. The way he batted with the tail. Also taking risks. It's not like he's playing old Joe Root. Old Joe Root probably would have been batting on 80 right now. And maybe he could have got to a double hundred also if he got support. But here he's hitting reverse sweeps. He's to Pat Cummins 86 miles per hour on a reverse sweep mara third man ke upar. That is sensational. And a traditional batsman like that who is brought up on test cricket, leaving the ball, solid defense, to play a reverse scoop when you're in the 80s, close to 100. I think it's incredible. It just shows that he is bought into this idea of baseball. He's bought into Ben Stokes' ideology, Brendan McCullum's ideology, and he's looking to contribute to the team. It doesn't matter about individual thing. And the way he was giving the single to the tail ender, not farming the strike, it just showed that every run is important. It doesn't matter about my 100. Like in hindsight now, it was an incredible innings, and he looked in total control. Although he did hit a few risky shots, there was not a time where I felt he would get out. There's one amazing ball, I think Hazelwood bowled to him, or no, Cameron Green bowled to him, and he beat him. It just missed his top of off stump. It sliced him into two. But apart from that, he looked in total control. He farmed. He rotated his stride really well, and it was such a good performance from Joe Root. Arey Vinesh bhai, kaise hain aap? Full jealousy ho raha hai. I want Kohli form in Test cricket. I wanted this badly, but hats off to Root. What a player! Yeah, of course I wanted it as well, but it didn't happen. And you have to give credit to Joe Root, the way he stood up. He's England's best player. He might be one of the all-time England greats. When he retires, it's his 30th 100, and it was a pressure situation. First day of the Ashes, at one stage of 180 for 5, half the side gone. It's you and Bairstow. After that, there's not much batting left to take the score to close to 400. I think it's a remarkable effort. You have to give Joe Root a lot of credit over there. It was a sensational batting display, but it was top class, man. I really enjoyed it, and that's what you want to see. This is why we've hyped this series. It's such a good contest between bat and ball. Then you have like Nathan Lyon coming and bowling a spell like that, incredible. Pat Cummins had a few good deliveries, bowling one good ball to Zach Crawley, and even what's his name, Hazelwood. I felt Hazelwood was one of the top bowlers today. I think uska line length impeccable tha. He was getting the ball to talk a bit, and mind you, it was a flat pitch, especially in the morning. People at the ground, journalists and stuff, were saying that this is like more like Ahmedabad or Karachi or something like that. I don't think to that extent, but it was still a very good pitch to bat on. So for Australia to take wickets on this kind of pitch, it's a good effort from them as well. And now we can only judge the pitch after Australia have batted. Then we'll have a better indication whether 390 the match winning score, or is it a par score, or is it under par score. We'll only find out after Australia's batted. I think tomorrow end of day's play tak malum ho jayega kaisa, what type of pitch this is, and what it is. Pure quality cricket, no drama. Really enjoyed it today. Let's see what Warner does tomorrow. But this is some brave declaration by Stokes. Incredible. I think I agree with you. High quality cricket. I don't mind seeing drama as well. Thoda sledging wedging bhi ho gaya, ladai wadai hui, so I don't mind. But I think it was high quality cricket. The weather was good. The pitch, it allowed bowlers to take wickets, allowed batsmen to score runs. It was a high quality contest between bat and ball. It was incredible, man. And yeah, Stokes' decision to declare, that was a brave decision. I felt that 400 maar diya tha, thoda psychological edge rehta, but he is thinking aggressive. He's thinking that we need to take wickets tonight, put them under pressure. and he called them straight away. I was really surprised that he didn't let them get all out or get to 400 at least, but it is what it is. And also, contributions from Broad and Robinson, we can't forget that it allowed them to add a good, 70, 80 runs. I think 40 runs partnership with Broad and 40 runs partnership with Robinson, around that mark. That's like 80 runs with the last two batsmen that Joe Root put on. That is going to be crucial in the context of the game, because England could have been wrapped up 300 all out, they could have been 280 all out, but the fact that these guys stayed with Joe Root, they took responsibility, batted really well. It allowed England to get to this score, which looks like a very good score right now, but only time will tell if it is good enough for this Australian batting lineup. For Australia tomorrow, again, Steve Smith, Labuschagne will be key. These guys love to bat. They bat days and days and hours and hours. So again, it'll be a challenge for them against Jimmy Anderson, against Robinson and Broad, but they will be up for the challenge. They will be prepared, and we've seen a Root 100. I think Steve Smith will be itching to get to 100 as well. That's what we want to see. We want to see the two of the best batsmen in the game in this format, just keep scoring runs and trying to compete with each other. England, I just worry about the bowling attack a bit. Like I said, the fast bowling, of course, they're high quality on paper, but just the circumstances coming back through injury, a couple of them, Moeen Ali coming out of retirement, I'm not as confident as Australians bowling. Australia has been, they play the World WTC, and this quartet or these bowlers, much of the same, have bowled in the last couple of years, despite maybe Stark missing out today. But apart from that, it's been a core kind of bowling lineup. For England, they haven't really bowled together in a while, I think. So that's what I'm a bit concerned about. Let's see what happens. Harry Brook dismissal was funny, but Root back foot game is joy to watch him every time. His technique is great, incredible technique. Also, Johnny Bairstow, I think his back foot game is very strong. And despite breaking his leg, he's come back and it was a sensational innings. His strike rate was close to 100. He pounded the bowling, whenever he got the opportunity. He took risks, but some of his shots were so good, man, to watch. And Joe Root also. Joe Root, though, like, there's जो भी बोले कम बोले उसके बारे में, but Bairstow, I have to give him credit because he's coming back after क्या एक साल के बाद उन्हें आ रहा, उसकी पूरी टांग टूट गई थी, मगर जो बैटिंग करा आज फर्स्ट डे ऑफ द एशेस, incredible. I didn't know if he'd be able to live up to it. He was their best batsman last year, and he's living up to it again this year. I think एक साल के बाद अगर आप ऐसा खेल रहे तो फिर कुछ भी कर सकते हैं. It was a sensational knock for him. He would be disappointed with the way he got out. Again, I know it's baseball, you have to play aggressive and stuff, but sometimes you just need to choose which kind of shot to play. Like at a certain situation, he just ran through the ball. Him and Moeen Ali, they just skipped through the ball and got stumped. But yeah, I guess if you're not going to take that aggressive nature, then you wouldn't have got to these runs as well, right? At the end of day's play, getting 400 on one day is like sensational, man. It was unheard of before in the past. अभी तो आराम से कर रहे हैं लोग. अब देखेंगे ऑस्ट्रेलिया कौन सा, अभी तो उनका रन रेट अच्छा ही है, ऑस्ट्रेलिया का भी मैच कर रहे हैं उन लोग, लेकिन अब कल देखेंगे कैसा खेलेंगे इंग्लैंड, कैसा फील्ड सेट करेंगे. व्हाट विल बेन स्टोक्स डू डिफरेंटली टू पैट कमिंस, हाउ विल हिज बॉलर्स bowl differently. Because look, Pat Cummins has some serious pace. Will Robinson be able to match that? Will he be able to, bowl some bouncers, vary it a bit? It'll be interesting. What do you think? Who do you think will captain India, Ibrahim, by as in West Indies if BCCI decides to rest Rohit so he is fresh for Asia Cup and World Cup? I really don't know. I haven't thought about it. Maybe Ajinkya Rahane, maybe Shubman Gill. I don't know what the options are and who's going to think. If it's just a temporary thing, then you can give it to Rahane if he's in the squad for Test cricket. For one day, I guess, who's the vice captain in the one day team? Hardik Pandya, then, if in the limited overs. Today, Bairstow and Root partnership reminded of last year's game against India, where they were playing with so ease, loving this baseball approach thanks to Stokes and Brendan McCullum. Absolutely, man. And it's very hard to execute something like this. हम लोग बोलते baseball खाली उठा के मारो. It takes a lot of guts because one mistake at that time, they would have been 6 down, 7 down. The tail would have come. They would have been wrapped up for 240. And so बोलते थे already 180 for 5 जब था मैं tweets पढ़ रहे थे लोगों के बोल रहे थे baseball's not going to work against Australia. And लोग क्या कर रहे विकेट फेंक दे रहे मगर फिर they continue to play like that. They didn't change their game. Continue to be aggressive. Bairstow was still striking close to 200. Joe Root was still playing reverse sweeps and reverse scoops. So they continued with that, and they still got to that target. So it's just sensational the way they're executing this style of play. It's I don't know how they're doing it, but it's wonderful to watch, and it's proper execution, man. That's all I can say. Zabardast कर रहे हैं लोग. तो हाँ सर, और जो भी कमेंट्स है, क्वेश्चंस है, आप लोग पूछते रहिए और बोलते जाइए. मैं तो बहुत एंजॉय करा आज. I really enjoyed the cricket game today. It was proper test cricket. What a contest between bat and ball. But if you have any other questions, do let me know before I wrap up. I'm just checking the strike rate. Zach Crawley 83, Ben Duckett 120, Ollie Pope 70, Joe Root 77, 86, Harry Brook, Ben Stokes 12. Ooh, captain is the only one who didn't play basketball today. 100, Johnny Bairstow. 105, Moin Ali. 76, Stuart Board 54, Ollie Robinson. That is sensational, man. Incredible strike rates, bro. You can say they're playing T20 cricket, but to execute that against the red ball, against such a good, well-skilled Australian bowling attack, who have proper variety, who have proper accuracy, proper pace, world-class spin as well, to execute this kind of thing, I think incredible from England. But let's see. Let me know your predictions for tomorrow. I think Australia might get close to the target, might get to 300 tomorrow, 300 for 6, 300 for 7. I feel that you might have a big Steve Smith innings coming, or a Labuschagne. One of these two marne wale hain kal. For England, it's about trying to get wickets, put the pressure on Australia, because still, no matter how good the pitch is, if you pick up 2-3 wickets in bunches in a session, it puts pressure on the opposition, like we saw in the WTC. No matter how good the pitch is, if you have runs on the board, you can always apply that pressure. You can set different fields. You can make sure you're trying to get a dismissal in. So that's what I'm going to look at. Cummins' approach was not great, man. After 4 overs, all fielders were at the boundary. What do you think? And himself's not bowling well. He used to. So I mean, there was a bit of criticism about like Pat Cummins' defensive approach and everything, but at the same time, I think it was kind of smart, because he didn't want to leak too many runs. If he didn't spread the field a bit, maybe they would have got to 400, 500 if Zach Crawley went crazy in after that start, right? So maybe you could say in hindsight it was okay, his captaincy. But yes, a lot of people were saying that why was he spreading the field so early? In terms of bowling, like he used, do you think himself is not bowling well? He used to, I don't know if you're talking about the overs or quality of bowling. Yeah, it wasn't the greatest day, but he did both some good deliveries. Also, you have to take into consideration the pitch was still good to bat on. It wasn't easy, and taking all that into consideration, I think it was decent captaincy, and they've done a good job. If you see, I know that England have got to close to 400. It could have been worse for Australia, but it could have been good as well. So I would rate his probably captaincy 5, 6 out of 10 today. I wouldn't say it's too bad, but it wasn't too great as well, because you did leak runs. So maybe 6 out of 10, in my opinion. With Ben, look, now we'll see. Ben Stokes going to be very aggressive. He's going to be attacking. We will see if that works, right? Because it'll also allow Australia to score runs. They do have batting as well. Remember, this opposition compared to the other oppositions that England have played, their bowling as well as their batting is high quality. They have high skilled batsmen as well. They have world class champions in their batting lineup too. So that is going to be the key. It's not just going to be about playing pass ball with the bat. It's going to be playing pass ball with the ball also. Setting attacking, if he's trying to pick up these wickets. In that case, do they leak too many runs and allow Australia to come to their score? That is a question that we'll only see if it will probably be answered tomorrow or day after. So that is another thing that we will have to check out, in my opinion, because that could be a counterproductive thing on a good pitch. If you're setting really attacking fields, it could be counterproductive. You can leak runs also, right? It's just a possibility. But I think with the runs on the board, Ben Stokes will still look to attack at least 20 overs. He'll get Jimmy Anderson in, put 3 slips and a gully over there, and have fielders in catching positions. और उसका यही कोशिश होगा कि इनकी जल्दी विकेट लो, उनको जल्दी शेड पे भेजो, फिर हम लोग वापस आएंगे, बैटिंग करेंगे और फिर टारगेट सेट करेंगे. मगर क्रेजी है ना, तो एक दिन में ही डिक्लेयर कर दिया, ये तो मैं एक्सपेक्ट नहीं कर रहा था. Your prediction for tomorrow, mine, Warner or Khawaja, one of them score a century. I think Smith or Labuschagne, one of them will score a century, sir. Only time will tell. I think a lot will rest on Jimmy and Broad. They will have to get some early breakthroughs tomorrow. The ball is still very new, and it will talk even after 15 overs. So I think England need to get at least a couple of wickets in the first session. If Khawaja and Warner bat out that session, it gives Australia a very good position to build from, and then it allows the later Steve Smith and Labuschagne come will probably be better for Australia, of course, and they can come play a bit more freely without any pressure. Although we know that Smith and Labuschagne both can handle the pressure as well and can counter attack. You also have Travis Head, Cameron Green. His role will be very key. Also, how much he contributes with the bat, because Australia generally don't have a tall, fast bowling, batting all rounder. and maybe he's someone along with Travis Head who can take that attack to the opposition, who can play their own kind of baseball and put England under pressure. So I'm looking forward to see his role and the way he bats as well, Mr. Cameron Green. Then you have Alex Carey as well, who has done pretty well. WTC में भी उन्हें बहुत अच्छा बैटिंग करा था. तो Australia do bat deep, but for them it's about trying to minimize the amount of wickets gone, and then they can capitalize. I think if they go into the second session with losing just one wicket or no wickets at all, then the second session will get a bit hotter and it'll be good to bat on. Day two, I think, is always a good pitch to bat on, especially on this kind of pitch where it's a bit flatter. Day two will always be good to make hay while the sun shines. But I think that pretty much wraps it up. Thank you everybody for joining me. It was a really good show. Thank you to Faiz also for joining before. Make sure you like and subscribe. We will continue to get content. We'll set some polls on our social media as well, so make sure you interact with us there, and we'll also add some reels and shorts, whatever we can. But rounding off today, it was Joe Root's day. I think it was still, if you see it, it was also Nathan Lyon's day, so I would say 50-50. Right now, day two, we'll have a better understanding where this game is shifting. But it was a 50-50 day, high quality test cricket. बहुत मजा आया कल. Make sure you guys tune in and watch the game, and then watch us as well, because this is high class stuff, man. Really enjoying it. And in high class, there is mistakes as well. Remember that, Australia we catches chode kafi. There was some indiscipline. England played some rash shots, but that makes it more entertaining, right? When you do make mistakes. So thank you guys for joining me. We'll catch you tomorrow. Take care, everybody. Have a good rest of the evening and enjoy the rest of the test match. We'll catch you after day two. Thank you.